It's Uncle Remus, spinning his warm, funny stories.
What black women are doing, I don't care. They're their own group. When they decide to work with us, they will. Otherwise, they won't. And they don't have to. They have their own power, their own productivity. They don't need us for anything. And I'm okay with that.
The key to happiness is to eliminate all black women from your life. I mean, look at me. No black women in my life. Look how happy I am. I'm happy as a nigga with a new gun.
Now, Ruckus.
I have black mother privilege. And I'm going to start breaking that down for y'all. Because there is a privilege for me as a black mother. I'm not going to have the same relationship. My sons adore me. My sons will put their life on the line in a New York minute over me. My sons will lose everything they have over me. Over me? It ain't happening. My sons will turn on their father over me. Over me? So when you ask me about my black sons, the relationship does not correlate the same to what I'm saying about black men.
There's this myth out there that black men can't handle being spoken to, and told what to do by black women. Black men come from our bodies.
Yeah.
So they're used to having these conversations with women.
The matriarchy is strong with the black
It is
community.
very strong.
Yeah.
My dear black women.
Dear black women.
Dear black women. To our black women.
Amishpantinko Biali, to the black women in my life, to the black women in the world.
I want you to know that we love you, we care about you, we see you, we're here for you. You're always holding it down.
Like always, you understood the assignment.
I promise to speak out against the blatant misogyny and challenge the blatant misogyny towards black women.
And I will continue to do the work that I need to do to continue to challenge relatives in my own community to do better, to be better.
And intentionally bringing men on that journey with me to ensure that our well-intended words are directly in alignment with our actions.
The world is always trying to make it seem like black women are doing too much or that their lives are not enough. When I know for a fact that my life will not be the same without you.
You have paved the way for us, and you will continue to pave the way for us. But we got to make sure we have your back and make sure you feel supported from us.
As the son of a black woman, the brother of 3 black sisters, the husband of a black woman, the proud father of a black daughter, I see you.
By showing you so much love, and while you show the world that black girl magic never fades.
We love you, we see you, and we're here for you.
You're always there for us, and we are here for you. We know you're hurting. We love you.
And we ain't going nowhere.
But if man had to find out that his God was a woman.
I say the black woman is God, and
black woman is God.
I say the black woman is God.
The black woman is God because, she was the first organism on this planet.
Well, I'm not making a change argument. I'm just simply saying you can't properly understand the world if you ignore the fact that women have been in rebellion for 100 years.
Yeah, I would argue integration is a bigger problem than that. I would argue without integration, you don't have this whole black feminist ideology that comes.
Oh, I agree with that.
Feminism came first. What do you mean? Feminism was here way before. Feminism. You could argue. You could even argue feminism led to integration.
Black feminists didn't become black feminists. They linked up with those white feminists in the '60s. When the whole
there were suffragettes walking off the plantation. No, black women were suffragettes off the fucking plantation. Don't take their credit away. They were backstabbing from jump.
The suffrage movement is not the feminist movement. I'm not letting you get away with that feminist talk.
That is feminism. How is it not feminism?
How about call it proto-feminism?
How is women vowing for leadership not a feminist movement?
Socialism and communism the same thing. It's not the same thing.
They're on a continuum. They are A and B in the alphabet. They're right next to each other. One leads into the other, but you can't separate them.
You can't show me Sojourner Truth. None of these people claiming feminism. Show me where they ever mentioned feminism in any literature whatsoever.
Women wanting to vote is an act of leadership. That is feminism. Women wanting to be equal to men is feminism, bro.
This is people asserting feminism on those people who never claimed it. They never claimed no feminism.
I don't know. I don't know that women
how
wanting to vote was an act of leadership. I don't know that I agree with that.
Well,
how is it not leadership? You're making wanting a right is. I don't know that I would call it leadership.
Let me explain how. The man was the vote. The man was the vote for the whole family. She usurps his leader. Oh, let me finish the thought. Let me finish the thought, please. She usurps his leadership role by demanding co-leadership.
Okay, no, afraid I don't buy that argument.
But once women entered the workforce, now they get taxed. That's the difference.
Well, women could inherit property way back then. Right. You know, property like a dowry sort of thing. Property from a wife's father became her husband's. I don't think it was a lack of leadership. I don't think wanting equality is the same thing as usurping leadership.
It is literally. Hold on. Because
literally, not in every case is my point.
The equality that they're asking for is literally to destroy male leadership. That is what the purpose of equality was. So they could no longer be. They didn't want to have to be forced to be led by men.
Yes, they wanted equality.
First wave
usurping leadership, I'm sure would have happened, but it wasn't an automatic outcome.
Each wave had different agendas. You got to break it down to waves. Because I don't have a problem with first wave feminism. That's exactly your blind spot, because it was always wrong. It was always built on lies and intimidation. Before the fruitcakes took over, it was nothing wrong with feminism. It was okay for them to have rights. Feminism introduced political terrorism to the West. Those bitches were blowing things up. Can I finish my statement? It was okay. It was okay for them to get equal pay based on job and all this other stuff. Most people ain't got a problem with stuff like that, right? It's when they started asking for these special rights. It's when things started getting inserted that started becoming weird. Like I said, like with the Title IX things, like women should be able to play with men in sports and all this other silly nonsense. Like this is when the fruitcake started taking over the feminist movement. This is when it started getting weird. Hold on. It started getting crazy. This is when it started becoming misogynist. This is when it started. It was always wrong. Listen. Men. That it wasn't anti-man. It was always anti-man because they wanted to usurp male leadership, and the men had to sacrifice our bodies to get the vote. What did women have to sacrifice to get the vote? Not in the beginning. What did women have? You please answer the question though. What did they have to sacrifice? It wasn't about anti-man. How was it about anti-man? You're answering a question that's not on the table. What did they have to sacrifice? That it was always about anti-man. So how was first wave feminism about anti-man? Tell me. Again, I make the leadership argument. You don't. I make the leadership argument. You already rejected the leadership argument. I made the argument several times.
You rejected it.
It didn't become anti-man until the second wave with Gloria. What's the old girl name?
Steinem.
Gloria Steinem, thank you. When she got involved, that's when it started becoming anti-man. But first wave feminism was about what they was pushing. And that's what I'm saying. What about first wave feminism was anti-man?
It's easy. Again, they had a lot of writings that were anti-man.
In first wave feminism, show me.
Yes.
Because you guys don't know your own history, like I said before. This is what we're doing. I'm asking you to show me. If I'm wrong, then I stand corrected. But show me though.
Is pro-women by definition anti-men?
Not necessarily, no, but that's not what we're saying. That depends on how it's presented. I would say how it's presented today, yes. How it's presented today, yes. But in theory, it doesn't have to be. It's a left wing canard.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, that makes sense. You know what? I think I'm right to reject the leadership argument.
Yeah. I still don't even get that.
Let me try this.
Wait, so you're saying because a woman goes and works at a grocery store and votes, she's rejecting leadership?
Well, women could already work, so that's not really the issue. Women had jobs. The idea that women never worked is another lie that hoes told you. You believe the hoes.
Okay, you're going way off track with that.
So if women work jobs,
Well, I mean, you one brought up women working.
So wait. If women work jobs and they're getting taxed on their income and shit, and they shouldn't have a representation in the vote.
Again, in order for men to get that representation, the deal was before all men got to vote, it was landowners and people of certain wealth or whatever. But you basically had to have a certain amount of property to participate in the voting system. Now the deal was, since all you poor sons of bitches want to vote, you got to put your body on the table in case we go to war. What did women have to sacrifice to gain their vote?
Women weren't allowed in combat in the military then, so they couldn't do that.
Well, what did they sacrifice though? You're answering questions that were not put on the table.
Why do they have to sacrifice anything?
What did they sacrifice is the question, because you're asking me why it's wrong. You're asking me why it's wrong, and I'm saying men have to sacrifice for the vote and women don't.
Establish why they had to sacrifice something. First, that be like say, well, how many times did women go to the moon? It has nothing to do with the argument. Why
they never get to the moon on their own? That's a silly argument.
They need to sacrifice anything to get equality.
Because
you're making this argument through a misogynist lens.
Well, hold on. The men had to sacrifice to get equality. How is it even fucking equality when it's all men? You're making a weird argument.
I don't even think it's I don't even think it's misogynist though. I think it's more like a hatred of women.
Men didn't.
It's not. How is it hatred when I'm pointing out that you literally don't offer anything for what I have to sacrifice and die for?
Okay, so when men were off to war, you think women just were sitting around with their thumbs up their butts? They were taking.
They didn't get shot in the face by a German.
Yeah, they were taking care.
They didn't get blown up over the fucking Pacific.
They were building. Infrastructure. They were working at the factory.
Fucking the guys who didn't fight. What do you mean? What do you think women do when the war is on? They fuck.
They had to work in.
They had to fuck the guys who didn't go to war.
They were still taking care. They were still taking care of the kids while the guys were off at war.
And that means you get to vote about war.
If I call it misogyny, will you pay attention to my point?
Are you going to shame me off my misogyny that I've been proud of? You misunderstand this whole product. You don't understand where you're going.
Lean into it.
That you're making it through a lens that's misogynist.
Well, my misogyny is righteous because you want me to die and you don't want them to put up anything.
Okay, well, righteous misogyny, that's a new one on me.
Again, you expect me to die to vote, but they don't have to do anything. How is that? How am I supposed to accept that?
Wait, conservative. Are you ex-military?
No, not at all. But I had to sign selective service when I got out of high school. I have to sign up for a draft.
So you're just you're the stolen valor. Then you never served.
Did you not understand the part about signing up for a draft? The selective service, it's an act that men have to sign up for. Only men get drafted. That's the fucking deal, bro.
Do you know it's automatic now? Men don't even have to sign up.
You want a bunch of women fighting our wars, having periods in the
I don't want them to vote either, you fucking egalitarian. No, I don't want none of that shit.
You do know that there's a form of birth control that can even control periods now?
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Oh
yeah.
Wow. All right, so they won't get attacked by bears in the jungles. All right, that's good.
Or sharks.
Yeah.
You don't want them to vote.
Why would I want them to vote?
Why wouldn't you want them to vote?
Because they don't even fucking like men at this point. We're at levels of peak misandry. The whole entire Democrat Party is basically like, fuck men in your dreams. And you're sitting up here like, let them vote more. You niggas lost the plot. Why do you want women who don't like men to have the voting power?
All right, let's put that misogyny in a tea bag and make.
I wouldn't want to take away a racist white dude motherfucking voting power. I'm not going.
Whoa. Start from the beginning.
I wouldn't want to put a policy in place that would take away their voting power. So I wouldn't do that with women either. So I'm asking why you want.
I don't even understand what you mean. You said something about white dudes. I kind of lost the plot for a second.
Constitution, then, do you? You ain't the Constitution.
No, I know, bro. I lost what you were saying for a second. Please tell me. Start over. What are you trying to say about white dudes and voting?
I'm saying you're saying you don't like women and everything else. So why would you want them to vote? I'm saying I don't like racist white people. I wouldn't want to take away their rights.
Bro. I literally said women don't like men. Why would I want them to vote? I never said that. What you just said, that's not what I said.
Racist white people don't like me. Okay, let's use that. Racist
white people. Okay. So why would you want somebody who doesn't like you to have power over you?
They don't have power over me. They got the same power I got. I can vote.
No. The question is, why would you want them? If they don't like you, why would you want them to have power over you?
They don't have power over me. They got the same power I have. What are you talking about?
It's a question. You're not even answering the question.
I just told you. They got the same power I got. That white man ain't got more power than me. We both got the power to vote. What are you talking about?
And you got, I think too, to your point, why would those racist white people give black men the right to vote first? Probably.
And maybe somebody can tell me when the necessity to own property or serve the military ended to vote for men.
I think it was with not the 19th Amendment, but whenever it actually expanded to men in general. I don't think it was quite the 19th Amendment.
No. 1856 was the last state that required property ownership. By 1870, government servitude.
So this is well before the Civil War.
Fucking 50 years, women waited to get their right to vote. And what they sacrificed was petitioning, doing all the things anybody else that's ever got a right in this country have had to do.
Hold on, what was that? What did they sacrifice?
50 years.
It sounded like poetry. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear.
They had to do all of the things necessary to affect political change that anybody else would. There were protests, they were jailed, all sorts of stuff.
They were terrorists, bro. You realize women's suffrage was a terrorist movement. You realize that? Not in America per se, but in England, they were setting bombs. Like they were introducing political terrorism to the Western political world.
They had their own John Brown.
Man, I guess I
like that. I'm not.
Better than any other late night by numbers.
Yeah,
you got nothing to come back with, and you just go okay.
Hey, that sounds like something Greg Gutfeld would say.
This is America.
Can we talk about another black hero? I thought Bass Reeves.
That was the topic, 12 man, black heroes.
I thought it was for a minute.
But no, but to SKC, this is America.
I think that's why these guys are feminists, because they believe in black female heroism.
Oh, now I'm a feminist?
I'm not a feminist. I'm not a feminist.
What do y'all
Stop lying, bro.
Bass
A thief won't ever call himself a thief, but you niggas are feminists.
You respect women more than anyone on this panel.
I do. I do. That's why I don't want them to go. I respect them enough to take the shit away from them.
So anybody who wants women to be able to vote is a feminist. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? Anybody who wants women to vote is a feminist?
Yes. How was that not how was that incongruent with feminism?
That's all it takes to be a feminist, and I guess
I like women. I like women to vote because they vote how I tell them to.
How do you tell them to vote, 12 man?
And that's why
by your interpretation, 99% of the country is feminist by your interpretation. Because you only about 1%.
That's why, and that's why everything sucks right now.
Real quick though, real quick. You don't just want feminists to vote though. You have no problem with female leadership, which is a vital part of feminism. So you would be considered a feminist.
Bullshit, free zone.
That's a key part of feminism. Is women leadership not a key part of feminism?
I don't know about women being leaders.
Oh my God! All right, y'all playing dumb now, man. It's at the heart. Oh my God, y'all playing dumb now.
I understand feminism to be about rights.
I said first wave feminism, I have no issue with. I said second wave is when things started getting weird. We are currently on like fourth.
Okay, but where?
Right. No, I understand that. I understand that point, Psycho. But when you say I must be a feminist because all I want is for them to vote, that's not true. You also have no problem with them being leaders, which is a vital part of feminism. Which is what it's a key part in what they actually fought for, to be leaders.
I don't want them to be leaders.
Where does it say that leadership is a part of it?
Life plan, yeah, they're gonna have to be leaders in certain aspects. Like that's just what it is. I mean, like whether you
I don't disagree with that, but I'm saying that's feminism. That's part of feminism.
No, it's not.
Reality.
I didn't get to vote for Harriet Tubman.
Hey, a rose by any other name is still feminism, bro.
Hey, a rose by any other name has nothing to do with your argument.
Same way
You
y'all
think
try
a
to
fish knows it's a fish? You think a bird knows it's a bird?
Same way y'all.
Yeah, a rose called a fish.
Let me know it's my turn.
Makes no sense. Are you helping SKC out with his absurdities?
You guys are in the absurdity here, denying what you believe in.
What you mean?
There is a name for what you believe in. It's called feminism.
Have the right to vote.
Y'all don't want to hear. Y'all don't want to hear other people talk. Y'all just want to have y'all church. If you just want to have church, let me know. I'll leave.
Yeah, we like our turkey and eat it too.
Conservative. Women's right. Feminism is about rights.
Yes, like I was saying, first wave feminism. Like I said, I have no issues with. Now, as far as leadership goes, like I said, the same way y'all tried to put the jacket on feminism on like Harriet Tubman, so to speak, or what you call Anna, what you call it that SKC just posted in the chat. In that case, these women were already leaders before feminism was a thing. Right?
Well,
they were already leaders. That's why.
Psycho, help me out here.
Like so women are put in certain circumstances where they are going to be leaders. Queen ain't
Psychopaths, can you help me out here? Can you help me out here? Because I'm a simple guy. I don't know as many words as you. But if you say you support first wave feminism, doesn't that make you a feminist?
No.
Rage on that beat, going crazy.
Deterioration in the generation is also the hatred of the woman. That's just as much a focal part of our demise as anything.
But that was then. We're talking about the 90s now.
But we're not talking about, we're talking about, we are a product of, we're in a patriarchal society.
Yes.
And male dominance is still king. Deterioration in the generation is also the hatred of the woman. That's just as much a focal part of our demise as anything.
But that was then. We're talking about the 90s now.
But we're not talking about, we're talking about, we are a product of, we're in a patriarchal society. In the Quran, it says that you can beat your wife if you beat her with a short stick. Including the Bible, one of the most patriarchal, sexist books ever written. So that can't be from God. I mean, literally, they ain't got a damn positive shit to say about no woman in that motherfucker. And even when they talk good about her, she's always a subservient being other than the man. She's always obedient to her man. They ain't nothing but a bunch of damn slaves. But she is never esteemed on the same level as the great patriarchs, Abraham and all them. So right there, it's a male chauvinist murder cult that she gets blamed for the fucked upness of society.
All right. Welcome to the show. How are you guys doing tonight? Yeah. This is what we're talking. These are the guys we're going to be talking about tonight. Once again, I thank everybody for tuning in. I appreciate y'all rolling up. This is who this is. Y'all niggas is wilding. You violating deep black thought right here. You guys are violating the builders. These niggas was building. You can't violate the black builders. He was getting that knowledge. He was kicking knowledge, y'all. All right, I want to start out tonight's show with a bit of a premise. I want to explain where I'm coming from with this idea as we critique some black male feminists. Why are so many black men feminist, either openly avowed feminist or they just have deeply held feminist aligned beliefs? They're gones, basically. Why are so many black men gones? You know, the same kind of thing. It actually goes back to these guys right here, the pro-black scholars. In pro-black scholarship, two things have seemed to develop: a guilt and a deliverance, a salvation rather. Guilt and salvation. The guilt comes from having been defeated by what we call white supremacy, colloquially referred to as the man. Because black men have failed to defeat or at least repel the man, thus forcing black people, black women in particular, to go through American slavery, black men must carry a historical guilt. Not a guilt for wrongdoings per se, but a guilt for failing. We failed her. How do you overcome such guilt? This is a powerful thing, guilt. Because you not only failed like your girlfriend, you didn't really just fail like your mama and them, your aunties and shit. You failed your God.
But if man had to find out that his God was a woman,
I say the black woman is God, and
black woman is God.
I say the black woman is God.
The black woman is God because, you know, she was the first organism on this planet.
How does one overcome failing their God? not a rhetorical question. This is a moment of existential crises for Black men. How does one overcome failing their God? You beg for forgiveness and you become even more devout in your worship. Maybe your God is a forgiving God. Maybe your God is a kind God who will give you a chance if you repent properly. But first and foremost, you beg for forgiveness, you repent, and you double down on your worship efforts. You fervently worship like you never worshiped before. You worship so fucking hard.
A lot of people seem to not understand me.
Science proves that the Black woman is God. We're not just saying that.
And the Black and Latino woman, they manifested themselves out of dark matter energy. All right.
I believe the Black woman is God.
Black woman, God. I don't believe God, no man. I believe God, a black woman.
The Black woman is God.
But my number one subject matter is the Black woman is God. That's first and foremost.
Black woman is God.
The Black woman is still God.
You're God, Black woman.
The Black woman is God. She is the creator. She is the sustainer. She is the provider. She is the first teacher of the children. She is everything to the Black race.
But don't get it wrong. I am still a white man's whore.
And so baked into pro-Black ideology is your failure in the eyes of your God, and also the path to redemption in the eyes of your God. Now, this path is faulty and this whole thing is fucking lame, but that's the setup. That is the scheme we're working with. Which brings me to tonight's content. The other day, I noticed this stream happening on Fatty's channel. This is a debate between Fatty and Taz Exclusive. You guys remember Taz? Taz is one of these like really aggressive hood, I'm a real nigga, pro-Black type of guys. And he was arguing in defense of feminism. So this is the title of the stream: Feminism or Patriarchy, which is worse for women in 2024? Fatty is taking the pro-patriarchy side. Taz is taking the feminism side, because that's what real niggas do. Real niggas believe in female equality. Real niggas think women should have rights. Real niggas want bitches to outvote them, because that's how real niggas give it up. I kind of just dropped in on a random section. I'm not even sure where this is.
Recent. And when it comes to voting, did you know, Mr. Taz, that most of these countries had kings? Like, and this only stopped on the last 200 years? Like, all of these countries didn't have democracy. Nobody was voting. It was king this and king that, and you do this and you do that. Men were oppressed on this system too. Men had no choice on this system too. And when we actually opened the floodgates of democracy towards the world, you had to be on the military to actually vote. Something that unfortunately women didn't want to do. So what happened was, if you want to be taxed, if you want to actually have a vote, you are going to be taxed and you are going to go to the military. And women didn't want to do that. Women didn't want to join the workforce. Women were very okay with that. It's very convenient, and that is your fault.
The debate is 2024, bro. Women have fought to get to the front lines. Women have been able to fight on the front lines and fought for rights in 2014. So
very recent,
right? But the debate title is 2024. So I don't know. Yes. The further back you go, the more irrelevant it becomes, because today Those feminists can get on the front line and fight because they want to.
So there's another great mistake by my opponent. 2024. What happened in Ukraine? All women had the choice to either leave or to stay. Men actually under federal law, not federal law, but martial law, if they left, they would be arrested or worse. Men didn't have a choice. Women did. This is what I'm talking about, feminism being either equity or equality being a farce, because women are not fighting to stay in wars. And more importantly, the most popular, powerful feminism being on the internet or whatever wasn't calling and saying, this is an outrage. Women need to stay there because we want equality, and Ukrainian women can flee from war because we want the same rights and equity as men. No, they were very okay with women packing their shit and leave. And men are too. I'm very okay.
Now, Fatty's pointing out something that modern men are griping with: the constant double standards that feminism would employ. You know, and it seems like you never wanted actual equality. You just wanted an easier time of certain things, but you don't actually want to be equal to men. In fact, what you're really seeking is a dominant position over men. It started out under this lie of equality, but now 100 or so years later, it's fully revealed its final form. No, they just want to run you. Everything. They want to control everything. That's what feminism ultimately seeks to do.
Okay with that too. I'm just saying feminists are not looking for equality or equity, because in 2024, the first situation that they actually could show that they want equality, they grab that shit and they run away, and nobody said nothing about it. I concede my time. This is not even close, but you have an opportunity. You got it, sir. And Flora was raising
I don't need to do any of that extra. The fact of the matter is, within a patriarchy, you send the women off so you can fight. But I do understand that at times you might be dealing with the mindset of a person who doesn't operate as a patriarch. The patriarch sends the women away. The patriarch sends the children away, and then the patriarch fights. The patriarch don't complain and say, the women and children gone. The women and children was able to leave, but now I gotta stay and fight. That ain't what a patriarchy is.
Now, I want to just warn you guys, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this Fatty versus Taz debate, because frankly, Taz has very poor argumentation abilities. You know, the man knows words and all that, but he can't really form an airtight, cogent argument for the most part. The reason why I kind of wanted to focus on that for just a second is that I noticed that amongst a majority of people on the left, they have a hard time forming arguments. And listen, maybe that's true of the right as well. Not everybody's like a public speaker. Not everyone is an orator and all that. Not everyone is clever with words, if you want to call it that. But if you're going to put yourself in the position to argue and defend a point, you know, it would behoove you to be able to make a good point. And what I notice is that a lot of guys, like for a lot of guys who want to defend certain left-wing positions, especially like feminism tonight, they make shitty points. They make really terrible arguments, almost to the point that I don't know if you understand the general structure of argumentation. Like, I watched this video the other day, and I said, you know what? I want to watch a video about logic. Because honestly, before I expanded on this concept with other content, I was thinking like maybe I should talk about logic. I know it seems like a dry, boring concept, but here's the rub. Here's the rub. We have all this black intelligentsia and all these so-called smart niggas on TV and all these mouthy know-it-alls on YouTube and live stream channels and shit. How many of them have ever studied how to form a proper logical argument or how to logically dissect an argument? Have you ever studied the elements of logical argumentation? And I don't know if niggas truly logic. You know how they say girls can't math? What if niggas can't logic?
And so you have a limited understanding of what you're trying to debate. Patriarchs don't cry and whine because they got to stay and fight the fight.
That's not the point. Patriarchy benefits women. If feminism was actually a ruling class, women would stay and fight at war. I'm making a point that patriarchy actually protects women and children while lets men be sacrificial lambs because of some antiquated state of mind. Respectfully, I'm proving the point that patriarchy actually helps women, not the other way around. And you couldn't explain why feminism helps women on that situation. It doesn't. Actually, it hinders women. It hurts women. It gets women on positions that were going to get killed, raped, or worse. So, respectfully, patriarchy works.
Feminism isn't needed in that situation because the patriarch dismissed the women. If those women were forced to stay in the Ukraine and not allowed to leave, then you might have an international situation in which feminism might be needed.
And you prove my point, and nobody did nothing about it, not even the feminists. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to ask, because you...
Now, look at Taz's face. He can't even understand the levels of argumentation that Fatty's putting forward. He's calling out the hypocrisy, saying that feminists offer a certain argument for why they do what they do. But when push comes to shove, they only want to take the benefits of their position and never any responsibilities of their position. And that's the face, this right here, this is the face of not understanding what that is.
You keep saying that women are making this choice to not go to war and things like that. I don't know if you know, because you're not American, but in 2016, it was, well, maybe a little bit before that, it was just around then that they determined that women, after asking for many, many years, could actually be involved in combat. So women did advocate to be involved in combat. I honestly just think that maybe you have a lack of historical knowledge, but women did. When I tried to join the military, they gave me a cook job, so I said no. But there was a lot of women around that time who were advocating to be in the military in combat positions, and we weren't allowed to by the patriarchy. So you keep acting like we're choosing.
If all the women in the military were restricted to the kitchen, we would have the leanest, meanest fighting force since like the Spartans, right? If you took all the women in the military, let me not even say all, just like 98%. You know, well, not even 98. You know, we still need like clerical staff and different little administrative positions and whatnot. If you just kept all the women in the military in the kitchen or the, you know, the secretary desk, it would be the leanest, meanest fighting force ever, bro. I'm telling you. You can't be anywhere near combat unless maybe if you're a nurse. Nurses are cool. We need combat nurses too. We need, you know, brave women who are willing to be out in a combat zone patching up the homies. We need that MASH unit. We need the, you know, the Nurse Houlihan in MASH, all right? Nurse Houlihan was valid. I'm not going to ever threaten Nurse Houlihan's position. Niggas was getting chopped up out there. We need a Nurse Houlihan to flash some tits every now and then.
As women, not to be part of it, when patriarchy is exclusionary. They don't want women to be part of it. So I just want to specify that, not in anyone's direction.
No, it's totally fine, and I will actually reply to that with simple. If I was a general, I would send Flora to the front line. Yes. If she wants to fight, I will put Flora on the front line. I'll put 3 red flags, a target, and says, shoot right here. Flora, we don't have to go to 2016. In 2024, there was a mandate that is called conscription, whatever the word is, where if men don't go and report to the army and says, I'm an able adult of sound body and I'm willing to go to war, they will lose their driver's license, they will lose their passports, and they might actually lose being incarcerated. That was passed.
Didn't another man tell you to do that?
Let me finish.
That wasn't women.
Let me finish. That will pass unilaterally through men, while women didn't have to do nothing to actually get those rights.
There's another reason why I am an anti-feminist. You know, the way people say they are anti-racist, I'm an anti-feminist. women don't ever leverage their rights to help out. Women having rights is like one day you ask your girls, hey, you ask your girlfriend, hey, I need like $950 to pay the rent this month. And she just look at you funny. Like, well, you have rights. Like, can't you use your rights to be responsible to help the team? Like, what's the point of me in all of my fucking generosity? Am I not merciful? What's the point of me giving you rights and all that stuff because I care about you? And now I give you rights because I care about you, and you don't use your rights to actually care about me.
Does patriarchy benefit women in this case, where they don't have to go to war, they don't have to enlist, they don't have to do nothing, and they can vote, drive, go to Jamaica and all that, while men, if they do it, they don't do it, they lose their actually rights. Isn't that actually favorable to women? And isn't it way better than asking for equality and putting women on the same position as men?
So again, I'm like, you talking about women going to Jamaica, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Again, I think if you're just talking to a specific crowd, maybe that works and sounds good to them. But I'm talking about women who can't leave their homeland, women who just don't have it. Like, again, there's no umbrella for feminism. There's no just making it bad.
See, Taz kept making this argument the whole night. He kept making this argument about other women out in other countries. Because the simple truth is, in the West, especially in America, because, you know, we're number one, but in the West, women have really nothing left to fight for. There are zero rights worth having that women need to fight for at this point. And for him to, you know, be such a staunch feminist, it kind of puts him in a position of, you fighting for bitches that ain't even around, bro. You trying to, you want rights for women who don't live in America? You got to move to the Sudan and fight female genital mutilation or whatever. You gotta move to whatever one of these shithole countries are and go fight their problems. But don't come around here with that shit, nigga. I don't know why you come around here fucking with me like I did something to these bitches. These bitches living good over here. American Western women have more than any woman has ever had. The average American woman is a god compared to most women in history. All the things that you have at your fingertips, everything you have access to, most women in history, they would have killed 1,000 other women to be you right now for just one day. Just a day. Just one day. Not even a Saturday night, a Monday. A fucking Monday. They would have killed 1,000 bitches just to be one of you hoes on a Monday. Because American women in the grand history of women throughout time have it all. You have it all right fucking now. What you choose to do with it is your problem, and I refuse to help you. But, you know, this is another conversation for another day. I think now is a good time to switch gears a bit. There's something else I wanted to talk about. Well, someone else that caught my attention. A Mr. F.D. Signifier. You know, I was doing a stream the other day and we were talking about the right-wing male online spaces and how the left wants to create something like that to kind of as a counter gravity to pull people back to their side. And in the online YouTube world, you don't have a lot of black men in the left-wing political realm who are as big as FD Signifier.
All right, so if you've been following me for a while, then you know I have a habit of criticizing the manosphere and manosphere adjacent people. They, along with like conservatives and Aaron Yeager fans, as you all found out last video, probably get the most smoke from me regularly on both of my channels. And for this, I get a lot of flack and criticism, which is expected. And this creates the user responses that I'm a simp for Black women, or Black women make up the whole of my audience, which is why I'm scared to criticize them. And this is very much coming out of my most recent main channel video, Swirl Economics, aka I think I just changed the name to something with Umar Johnson, because niggas love clicking on Umar Johnson. If you haven't watched it yet, check it out. And yeah, niggas is mad. Niggas is a little mad in the comments. A lot of Black women mad in the comments too. I'll get to them later. But I want to address this simping allegation. Do I simp for Black women? Yes. I love Black women. I don't like y'all niggas. It's an easy decision to make. Sorry.
Now, to be fair, this man says, yes, I do simp for Black women. I love Black women. It's an easy decision to make. It's y'all niggas that I don't like. That is basically the Democrat. That's the DNC platform right there. This is the DNC.
But I want to address this simping allegation. Do I simp for Black women? Yes. I love Black women. I don't like y'all niggas. It's an easy decision to make. Sorry.
This is left-wing culture, and this is also why so many Black men are slowly pulling away. It's like a battle of attrition at this point. You're not losing men in droves. It's just a steady drip of men moving away from the left, Black men in particular, because it's like an actual grassroots movement.
However, I also want to address this theory that because I simp for Black women, that they make up most of my audience. That is not true. And I've told y'all niggas this several times now, and y'all keep saying this. Like, I keep hearing y'all repeat this in my comment section. I even watched some brother's video the other day, and he kept on saying this over and over. And it's like, I know I have proved this to these gentlemen once before, but since I need to do it again, let's run them numbers one more time. When I last showed my gender analytics last year during the Black Manosphere video, I was at around 63, 65% men, and now I'm in the low 70s.
He's in the low 70s. Now, assuming most of his audience is not full of hate watchers, which is possible, it's a thing. Assuming that his audience is not full of hate watchers, it would appear that there are a lot of like-minded Black men who agree with his message. There are too many Black male feminists. It's a whole gaggle of y'all gay-ass niggas. Shout out to Dolomite with the $5 Cash App. He says a few dollars in the hat. I got you. I got you. All these Black male feminist ass niggas out here.
I'm telling you, man. This the reason why I be hating niggas, man. I'm telling you, man. It just be us. I be hating niggas, man.
And shout out to my man Andrew with the 5-ball. He said, this is why I didn't vote for Kamala, because I'm not gay. And hoes is mad.
Hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad.
This is about targeting women of color in the United States of America. Don't tell me, because I didn't get a single apology. Time has expired. My life was threatened. Thank you.
Hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad.
Shout out to everybody in the audience, man. Like, share, and subscribe. You know, I was watching this guy's content earlier today, and I got a couple of things I want to analyze as we go through tonight's show, but I wanted to, it sparked a thought in my mind, because FD Signifier does have a huge audience in terms of the YouTube world. And I think as much as the lamestream media say they need to have their own Joe Rogan, I think the online male-centered, black male-centered content space needs to have an intellectual narrative challenge to what FD Signifier represents. We need to be able to put not just a large audience to oppose him, but actual arguments to oppose him as well. Because it's not so much him, but he represents a problem. Like I said, too many black men are feminists, and that's some fucking bullshit.
I am maidenless over here. It's like high school all over again. For all of my simping for black women, it is not working. Ladies, please come back. While I wish I had a larger woman following, I do acknowledge that I tend to be far more male-centered, and that is not something that I plan to change. I think I should be playing that specific role of talking about men's issues from a more progressive perspective with my platform. Obviously, I'm not changing that, and I appreciate all the women and black women that have stuck along for the ride as I do that. However, to be very clear to the Manosphere niggas in the audience, that, as you see, does not mean my audience is made up of women. It is greatly a sausage fest. And so the next thing the Manosphere dudes are going to say is that this must mean my audience is mostly non-black men or white men, which is just more wishful thinking on their end. While I'd wager that this 70-ish% probably includes a lot of non-black men, that's greatly because I do plenty of videos that bring in a non-black male audience, such as my early videos on the Manosphere or anime or male desirability or hip hop, which we know brings in a nice sized non-black audience. But when you look at my videos that are clearly black oriented, that are not going to bring in a huge white audience, you see that they're some of my most watched videos. And if you look in the comments section and compare that to my analytics, then you're going to see that it is clearly a lot of black men. My video on black love has over 500,000 views and is predominantly by a small margin men. My video on the Black Manosphere is well over 500,000 views, and its viewers are predominantly men by a wider margin. My video on black men's sexuality has over 1 million views, and it is predominantly men by a wide margin. My most watched video this year, soon to be my most watched video, period, is my second Black Conservatives video with 2 million views. And if you look in the comments, it's obviously black people, 77% male audience. This idea that some people keep trying to repeat and spread about my content and my views being so unpopular with black men, and that no real self-respecting masculine black men would ever really listen to FD Signifier, is why niggas don't really listen to y'all. Why y'all can barely get 100 people to show up for a live stream. Last time y'all said this nonsense, I had like 350,000 subscribers.
We got 122 people in the room right now. I feel like he talking to us, and the nigga pointing that finger at us right now, by the way. Like, share, and subscribe. We got to boost the audience, man. We got to signal boost this shit. I nigga said we little niggas over here.
Between two channels. And today, I have nearly 750,000 between two channels. Guys, gentlemen, you're supposed to respect logic and data over emotions. Let this one go. You are embarrassing yourselves. Y'all are the outliers, not me. The paradoxical thing I think y'all don't get is that I'm a nerd, right?
Right. FD Signifier is the mainstream. He says we are the outliers, black men who talk about patriarchy and talk about a natural traditional order. We are the outliers, right? There's something wrong with us. Everybody on his side, we over here fucked up in the game. It's not him, it's us. We the niggas that's tripping. I'll accept that. I am tripping. I'm tripping. This shit's so crazy, it got me tripping. Now, FD Signifier had a conversation with another YouTuber. I believe this is Mr. Z. And it's interesting because Signifier and Z are both black men who are relatively left-leaning. And Z is trying to explain his pro-black male position to SD Signifier, and so that's kind of the nature of their live stream right now. But what happens, and this is something that I kind of thought about years and years ago, back in the Bernard Riley days, and FD Signifier did make an appearance on the Bernard Riley show. He name drops Bernard Riley several times on different live streams, talking about the Black Manosphere. What I talked about back then, what I predicted back then, was that the red pill and all of this sort of red pill knowledge and wisdom and whatnot, it is inherently right wing. It's right leaning. It has a political element to it without even trying. And because it has a right leaning political element, you really can't exercise the red pill ideology. You can't have red pill praxis, as they would call it, safely on the left wing. There is no acceptable way to be a red pill guy or to even express any of this so-called red pill knowledge within the realm of the left wing sphere. And so therefore you have to make a break. You have to leave them niggas behind.
Not always to real feminists, but to like gen pop women who, you know, got their feminism from Tumblr or Beyonce, right? Mm-hmm. So like I'm not gonna fight you on that. I said that in my own content. But that is not a challenge unique to women, is my point. That in the same breath,
I don't think it is.
And so
I don't disagree with that. Mm-hmm.
The thesis of the video coming out and my response to your response, and the reason why I said I didn't listen to the thing about be mean to women, mm-hmm. is that when you want me to dig deeper into first off, there's certain things I don't want to talk about on my channel just because it is not smart, both from a like professional branding, get this money aesthetic standpoint, but also from you all don't often understand how having a platform this big works, and like how there's unintended consequences to everything you say and do, right? So there's certain things I'm not going to say about Black women. You're not going to come out of my mouth on my content, because even if it's factual and true, even if I say it with the most empathetic and fair, and if I do exactly what you said I do, which is shit on men for 10 minutes and then be nice to then shit on women for 1, there's certain niggas that's only going to hear that 1 minute. And the way that breaks down outside of my content, I don't want to be responsible for that.
Here you go. And this is the inherent hypocrisy or dishonesty, frankly, of the male feminist specimen. The Black male feminist specimen in particular. It's an inherently duplicitous, dishonest position. For reasons of financial security or ideological purity, you will not say things that you know to be true regarding a subject matter that is fond and near and dear to you. You will not. You cannot, because you understand that from your position as a relative big dog, if you acknowledge even an inch worth of what these men are talking about, what's that say about you and everything you've said so far?
Also, from you all don't often understand how having a platform this big works, and like how there's unintended consequences to everything you say and do, right? So there's certain things I'm not going to say about Black women. You're not going to come out of my mouth on my content, because even if it's factual and true, even if I say it with the most empathetic and fair, and if I do exactly what you said I do, which is shit on men for 10 minutes and then be nice to then shit on women for 1, there's certain niggas that's only going to hear that 1 minute. And the way that breaks down outside of my content, I don't want to be responsible for that. So that's one reason.
So you're admitting you're putting your thumb on the scales. I'm just saying, go ahead.
I'm not saying I'm putting my thumb on the scales. I'm saying there's certain things that I need to talk about because I am a black man.
How is it not? And perhaps putting your quote thumb on the scales is not the exact language to use, but you are definitely not an impartial, objective witness. You are a corrupt witness at this point. Your testimony is corrupt. It cannot be trusted for the reasons that you just stated. You are unwilling to put forward anything that may look like it disparages your protected group because you see that you may give ammunition to the people who you don't like. You don't want to give ammunition to the wrong people. What if the wrong people hear you say these things about black women?
But I want to address this simping allegation. Do I simp for black women? Yes. I love black women. I don't like y'all niggas. It's an easy decision to make. Sorry.
And see, you know the difference between a guy like a Taz, who, like I said, has poor argumentation to the point where, like, I don't really have the time. I can't listen to him all that long because he's just very uninteresting. His shtick doesn't work for me. And FD Signifier is a far more compelling specimen because he does have the ability to make argumentation. Now, just because it's relatively good argumentation doesn't mean he's right, because now you have to understand how to dissect logic and you have to, determine what's true. And if you build a good argument on a false premise, then it's not really a good argument. And that's where I kind of attack. That's where I attack this FD Signifier character from. This is the vector that's open for me because he puts together a cogent stream of ideas that you can follow, but it's all built on false premise. It's either white supremacy or black women are inherent victims, therefore blah 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 blah.
And there's certain things
I understand that
about because I'm not a black woman.
I get that. What I'm saying, and I need to respond to this part. The women that I'm almost certain that you're in community with, you might have their number in real life and et cetera, they're not doing that. The only one really pushing that needle for real is Julesy. I'm not going to mention the other ones because if you mention them, I'm going to start telling you about videos that they have that I could point to you and be like, that's an example of not doing that. So I ain't going to put you on blast with that. I'm purposely not saying certain names.
I'm sure that's the case. And I've argued this as well, that we've established a poor paradigm for how we discuss black men online. I said that way back in Baby Boy video, probably.
Yeah.
The online black male space, the niggas that FD Signifier don't fuck with, in his own words, as he says, we are the people who actually established the paradigm for how you speak about black men. It is because of the online right-wing male space, whether, broadly speaking, or just black specific. This is how we establish the paradigm for how to speak about black men. Because here's the problem. How does a person who, in his own words, don't fuck with you niggas, then declare himself the voice of you niggas? You said you don't fuck with these niggas. You really don't even care to understand these niggas. Do you suppose you can be the voice and disseminate the position of these men to the rest of the world? You think you're the guy?
You are a faggot. You are borderline more gay than gay men.
You know what I'm saying? So I
don't want to miss the point because it's going to take me 30 seconds, not even 10 seconds left. My point is, you're doing that. I agree. By the way, okay, fine. If you're not gonna, you're a black man, you don't want to be overly critical of black women, particularly coming from the left. You don't want to dogpile. You don't want it to even seem like you're dogpiling. I understand. What I'm saying is the women. So once again, I don't want to say their names. They're not telling the ladies, hey, we sounded like we actually advocated for patriarchy over here. Is this real feminism that we're doing over here? Is this real? We're really, they're not doing it, brother. I watch their stuff. They're not. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I'm sure that they slip up, but I've heard that so many times from some of my homegirls. So I've heard that from people that I ain't even really in the community with. Like me and Kim Foster have exchanged tweets. I've heard her talk that shit.
I don't know if that's the name you want to bring up right now.
I know she's persona non grata over here.
Bruh.
I don't even get into it.
No, it's not even that. I'm not even bringing up that, brother. I'm saying that might be one of the people I'm saying that has said some of the most egregious stuff. And if they didn't delete it, I could.
She's had her moments. I've seen her with her moments. I know a particular moment that always comes up with her and what was it, Eric Garner? I know about that.
Yeah,
I know about that.
brother.
That's not unfamiliar to me.
So,
but I'm saying I've also heard her more recently talk about the way patriarchy is desired by a lot of these women. But I want to get to his
including her. Go ahead.
But no, this is the hypocrisy of women, and also it raises from a societal standpoint, it presents an existential issue of itself. Like, can your society actually bear the brunt of this decision? If you promote women through education and into the workplace, you create programs and policies that advance women through education in the workforce, thus creating an economic situation where the women, rightly so, say that there are too many men who are not economically viable as partners for me to mate with, pair off with, if mate is a crude term. If so many men are just economically unviable, who is she to date? Because now the higher up women go in the financial ladder, the less men that they have that they themselves want to be with. And this doesn't even just mean women at the top of the ladder. Women who are at the top of the low part of the ladder. Women who are at the high end of the ghetto are making this same calculation. Like, if a nigga can't outdo my Section 8 and my food stamps and my welfare checks, he ain't really worth much, right? This is the practical math. This is the girl math. This is whole math. And to some degree, they're not wrong. If you want to make a really crass, selfish, short-sighted decision, I mean, the numbers work to a degree, but this is the math that a lot of women are working with.
And this is the main thing I wanted to get to. Mm-hmm. The real thing that bothered me enough to say we gonna talk is y'all keep saying my audience is not predominantly black men, and that shit gets my goat. Whoa.
Have I said that? I don't think I said that.
Yes, you said in so many words.
I need the timestamp. No. You said in so many words. I've known, because you said it I've watched you say my audience is primarily black men. So you trying to tell me I said that after you said that a while ago too. So I've known it. So, but you did say it in so many words.
Hold up.
I'm copping please right now. I need to play me saying it.
Hold on. Let me go ahead and see if I can pull it up and see if I can find it through some transcripts or something. Let me see.
I don't recall me saying that verbatim. Maybe.
Let me see.
Maybe in the heat of the moment, but I don't remember.
Control F in this motherfucker. Let's see. The critique of black women. Sorry, brother. Yes. And like respectfully, man, don't bring up my sons. Respectfully.
No. I will stop. But now that you're on, let me say why I keep on saying that. And it's the same thing I say to the brother Diallo Kenyatta, who I actually like listening to. The reason why I continue to say that is to say your sons are going to eventually become adults. They're going to go out in the dating world. They're going to go, and the things that we're saying here matter. The way your sons are going to have to, they're going to have to encounter the hypocrisy that's coming from the opposite end. And so when I bring that up, I'm saying, what you're saying, you really go ahead.
My sons to be resilient. because they've already encountered that hypocrisy.
Yeah.
And
they've already encountered what hypocrisy? I'm assuming FD Signifier and I are not that far apart in age. I'm assuming his children, his sons, are probably teenagers or younger, young teenagers at most. And now I'm just curious, what hypocrisy have your young sons experienced? Because this does now speak to an issue. So are your own sons witnessing the same things that you are railing against when you critique the Black manosphere? That would be an interesting turn of events, right? You're online getting all this praise for all these videos against the Black manosphere. I mean, he does a lot of shit, but I encountered him when he was critiquing the Black manosphere, and it would be interesting if your sons, start to just live their truth that aligns with the Black manosphere's vision of things. That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
I guarantee you, the little Black girls they're in community with are going to encounter their own version of the same challenge.
Yeah.
And I would hope that their parents and the people around them teach them resilience and ways to communicate through that as well. So because here's the thing, and let me read it. This is I got a timestamp, 2546 on Swirling Gets Political. Because FD Signifier subscribe. Let me read this perfectly. FD Signifier's subscribers and audience is largely non-Black, and so
largely non-Black. I didn't say most.
It's good.
You gotta pin me on it. You gotta pin me on it.
Come on now.
You gotta pin me on it.
But you understand.
I've been knowing. Go ahead.
But you understand the rhetorical device that serves, which is to undermine the validity of what I'm saying based off who's buying into it, right? And the same thing.
Yeah. Now here's the issue. Oh shoot! Why did I jump out of that? Here's the issue.
Little holes. But the point I want to, I'll just get to the gist of it.
Let me get a one.
My audience is predominantly not.
I'm sorry. Here's the issue that I wanted to highlight here. They are both, FD Signifier and Mr. Z here, they are both operating under the left-wing paradigm, which is more than anything else a black-white paradigm. And most of us, pretty much all of us right now living in this modern world, a black-white paradigm simply will not do. Like, would you buy a television that only shows you images in black and white? Would you consume at this point any media that only shows you images in black and white? Speaking of images in black and white, that's actually why I kind of loved the movie Sin City. Just because from a cinematography standpoint, the film itself was mostly shot in black and white, but they used splashes of color at certain points to highlight different effects in the world. Blood was red and certain bad guys had a certain color to them. Like they used color to an effect, right? But generally speaking, we are beyond black and white. Black and white is no longer a sufficient, nor was it ever really a sufficient lens to gaze at the world through. If you're only seeing black and white, you're missing out on so much.
Non-black and converse. And
I did not say that. That's not the word. That's not the word I used.
The word.
I said largely. No, I said largely. You said I said largely. I said largely. Read it. There's a big difference between largely and predominant. Oh crap! He dropped. Is it me? Can you guys hear me? FD, you can come back on if you need to. Let me get a one in the chat if y'all can still. Oh, he dropped. Okay, so y'all can still hear me because I did hear him kind of, going in and out. Okay, so you guys can hear me. Okay, all right. So I'll give him a minute if he want to, jump back on and kind of give his say. Excuse me. Yep. Oh, there he goes. Okay, there we go. All right.
Yeah,
and you're back. Yeah, I
Um,
heard you when you were getting a little choppy, but I wondered if it was me. Go ahead.
What was I saying? So the point is, the point I want to, I'll just get to the gist of it. My audience is largely black men. In fact, my audience is more black men now than it was the last time we talked. You know, and
I believe that. No, I agree.
that, like, what that does to that, from my perspective, that undermines the reason why that, and that's something I don't just hear here. I hear that on a regular basis. It's all through my comment section. It's all through every place where I've sought out critique of what I had to present. I've mostly, found little holes, but mostly it's just FD is scared of black women, and this is because his black women are his main audience, and my shit is a sausage fest. I
have not said that. I don't know if you can find me saying that. Predominantly black women, or
I won't even challenge any of that. If he showed his analytics, I'm taking him at his word on his analytics here. But that is exactly the problem. More so than any other ethnic group in America, black men are the most feminist, most progressive, most egalitarian group. And we can get into the reasons for that. And I imagine we're going to have a panel. We are definitely going to have us a panel tonight. So do me a favor, guys. Feed the panel for me. I need you guys to drop some pan attacks in the chat. We got to open up this panel. These niggas about to come in here and act all crazy and shit, and we need to prepare. They're going to eat all my nachos. They're going to drink all my little juice boxes and shit. Support the panel, y'all. Support the panel. But we're going to explore this idea of why so many black men are feminists. Like, why does a guy like FD Signifier actually attract so many black male listeners? And I don't think it's all white men. His audience, he has a good chunk of white listeners. Like, I have a very diverse audience myself. I know for a fact I got a good amount of white men who listen to my channel. But I want to understand why a guy like FD Signifier has so many black men that listen to his channel. Because here's the thing. When you attack issues from the leftist perspective, you have to attack things on matters of race. It's black, white, whatever, right? And I guess that explains some of it. But I imagine that a good reason why I, for example, have a chunk of white male listeners as opposed to a left-wing audience is that I attack issues more from a masculine perspective. Black and white isn't really just the only lens I see things through. And honestly, it's not the predominant lens. Male, female tends to be a more relative analytical point for me. Why don't more black men actually identify with more traditional concepts of masculinity? Anyway, we're going to talk about this on the panel later on. Like, share, and subscribe, y'all. Support the show for me.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the sentiment that's trying to be put in there, because what you have to then contend with is maybe the way I'm getting into this shit is not as against the grain for black men as y'all like to present. Maybe the feeling that black women hate me is something that's happening here, but not as widespread as you perceive it. And
now, I would not argue that black women hate black men, because hatred is too strong of a word. And frankly, hatred is it's almost sort of like love. It's you can't describe it objectively. I don't argue that black women hate black men. I simply argue that black women have very little shared interest with black men, nor do they seek to share interest with black men. Black women very much desire for black men's support. Black women would like black men to come along to black women's team and support their dreams and their vision. But I do not see very much of that in the opposite direction. I do not see a lot of black women who support male-centered initiatives. I do not see a lot of black women who support the idea of black men being the head of the household. Black women, generally speaking, are enemies of what we call black male patriarchy. I mean, black patriarchy. Black male patriarchy is redundant. But black women are not supporters, nor are they truly desirous of a black patriarchy. Yet, they would judge black men against the standard of having a failed patriarchy or being failed patriarchs or whatnot, which is where the whole white man argument comes in. I want what Miss Ann have. You can't give me what Becky got.
I want what you white hoes get, and I want it today, ASAP, not tomorrow.
And I'm gonna just be real. Maybe y'all should watch less divester content. Like the amount of divester content that it seems like y'all are watching. I guarantee y'all are 30-45% of their watch hours. I guarantee you, y'all are linked at the hip in terms of algorithmic connectivity.
I don't think I watch more than everybody else, and I don't know if it breaks a quarter. Believe it or not, I'm watching visual whatever politics and breaking points and all different.
Not a quarter of your watch time, because if you're like me, you might watch a lot of YouTube. I'm saying if we were to look in their metrics, I bet you that their if you insert who's the biggest one now. I don't know. I know what's her name got demonetized.
Yeah, that put a by the way, that put a lid on a whole lot. And there's something to be said, brother. And I really need to say this. There's something to be said about it having to be a white woman that finally got her head taken off, where all of these sisters know about Cynthia G. All of them knew about Cynthia G.
So a white woman. I haven't paid attention.
Oh, she got in contact. She got in contact with YouTube. Said, look, this woman is literally talking about aborting black male babies. She's literally and she pretty much within 2 days, Cynthia G's channel was gone. Because she tried to upload from a second channel, and YouTube was like, yeah, you're out of here.
But again,
within 2-3 days. So
here's another issue that I noticed. And taking a slightly closer look at this FD signifier character, you have very little interest in researching the other side's position. I played a clip opening up the show tonight. I played a clip from the John Galt channel. Shout out to you guys over there. That was Stanley, HB, and I, and SKC, and Free Zone, and we're debating feminism, obviously. One of the points I was making in my appearance on the show that night was that you guys on the left wing of the social political realm, you are very intellectually lazy when it comes to the arguments of your opposition. It's an arrogance that leaves you open to attack, frankly. You think your shit don't stink. But in fact, in examining some of your work tonight, FD Signifier, not only do I realize that that your shit does stink, you take active measures to hide the smell. FD Signifier, one of his main reasons for being in this YouTube realm is to hide the smell. All of his attacks on the manosphere are his efforts to hide the smell. And that is why they exist, to hide the smell. You do not want other people to understand what's happening here.
Fresh and Fit was here doing damn near the same shit the whole time. They didn't get demonetized. Their channel's still there.
Yeah.
If you were truly invested in something like the gender war, I think you would understand. You would have at least been abreast of the ebb and flow of the Cynthia G situation, seeing how she was one of the more prominent figures. What is divester content? I'm not gonna get into it tonight, American man, but it's black women who are viciously against black men to the point of begging white men to commit acts of violence and terrorism against black men. It's a very interesting, bizarre group, but they're like an extreme minority.
Look, they weren't talking about aborting black female babies.
That was it. Was that
there's
video still? By the way, did she keep that video up? I've heard, I've seen it, but I feel
like, oh no, she said that multiple times. It wasn't one, but it's gone now. The whole, the channel is gone now, so you can, that and the backup channel, and I get what you're saying with the that what you perceive and what you watch does have an effect on the way you view the world, right? I've actually done content on the algorithm, about the rage porn, about how Facebook, that's one of the things that Facebook was, Mark Zuckerberg was dragged into court with, was they can play with the algorithm to show you more enraging content. I know this already. Like, this is I've done my research on this also, and I've done multiple videos about this. So I know this. And like GC said over here, like, no, most of us can't stomach divester content. Z watches for us, and most of my stuff ain't divested. Like, they can't, bro. As a matter of fact, just speaking about BGS, that's one of the things. Like, with multiple brothers in the black.
I'm kind of with you guys. I am abreast. I am aware of the divester content, and every now and then I take a peek for whatever reason. Something gives me reason to take a peek, but how interesting can it be listening to a bunch of miserable bitches talk about their misery? Like, let them have their space and all, but that shit is not the most compelling content. It's really not.
Like, Z, how do you even watch this stuff? And I'm like, because I know that this is a sentiment, and what I will say, and I don't know if you heard me say that on my stream, is like, it is leaking into real life. With teachers and professors, go ahead.
I think, I hate that y'all have established that as a talking point, because what is happening is that black boy. So I'm gonna pull out my.
Notice this is FD, and I suppose I can't fault him for this, but again, this is his position, and hiding the smell, and his desire to hide the smell. This is what he has to do, is to reanalyze things that the black manosphere have been studying for years now. It's like, no. All you guys who have been arguing and debating and refining this one point for the last few years, no, you're completely wrong. Let me tell you, it's this. And I agree with you, SKC. He says Stanley and FD are the same. They know, but they are purposely hiding the shit from their side. Hood recalls Stanley's burst of insanity when simply posing a probing question. The same happened with FD. Yeah, because their worldview, and the reason why they are feminist, this is an interesting thing. I can actually tie their ideological chains together. The ideological links in their chain, I can actually tie them together to get back to the core of their argument. Why would Stanley, and I'm assuming the question that you're pointing out with FD Signifier was of a somewhat religious nature. You asked Stanley the other night, why would the Quakers and the anti-slavery people, the abolitionists in America, what would give them a reason to have a moral outrage against the institution of slavery? Now, I'm going to assume that a similar question was posed to FD at some point. That's what you're referring to. And the answer to that is the Christian religion. Why is there somewhat aversion to the ideas of Christianity and the Christian religion? Because the Christian religion it's from a very religious point, symbolically speaking, it represents a set of ideas and ideology. The Father, Sky God. Even if you set aside the white part of it, which it's very relevant too, but let's set aside the white part of Christianity for a minute. Let's just look at the masculine elements of Christianity. You now have straight from God a reason for men to not only establish order in the world, but establish order over the women in their world, right? So, from a Christian perspective, the patriarchy is divinely ordained, right? And then if you want to add the white part, which is a huge thing, because from the black slave perspective, Christianity was the white man's religion. So now we have this imposition of the white man's culture, his ways, the white man's God, literally. You have an avenue for division. You can now tell black people you're worshiping the white man's God. And the white man's God says that the man is the head of the family. The white man's God says that the man is the arbiter of order in your area. It is up to the man to establish order and to enforce the borders of said order. And you have to reject such a dynamic on every level as a left-wing actor. You have to reject that, because a religious call is powerful in and of itself, and by rejecting the religious element of it, you also give yourself a leg up in attacking the logical element of it. Because for the average listener, the logical element only goes so far as men are bigger and stronger, therefore we should be in charge. And I don't even have to get into the divine to go beyond bigger and stronger, therefore we should be in charge. But for the average listener, that is enough. And if you can defeat that, then you can defeat the average mind, and therefore you win average viewers.
I'm gonna get into my black male studies bag. I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
get into my Tommy Curry. What is happening is that society hates black men and boys,
Yeah.
and black women reflect that in the same way that rest of society does. It's not that the Vester logic.
Now, here's a point of contention also I would make, because FD Signifier and guys like him and Stanley, they see things from a black-white lens. I would argue society itself, American society, does not hate black people. American culture damn near worships black people. American culture be licking black people gooch all the time. It's not that American culture hates black men and boys. Black women hate black men and boys, perhaps. I'm not owning that. I'm just putting that forward as a theory, perhaps. But if we're talking about American society, broadly speaking, American society hates straight men who would possibly go on to be patriarchs of their families and in their community. What American society actually hates is men who want to lead. Straight men, heterosexual men of a Christian moral standpoint who want to lead. That is who American culture hates. It is not black men and boys. America loves stupid gangster niggas. America loves retarded rap niggas. America low-key has a soft spot for black criminals. If you are defending the nobility of retarded niggas and criminals, America will suck your gooch. But if you're a black man who wants to raise a family, who wants to have the unrestricted right to tell his wife to shut the fuck up and let me do business, America hates you. America fucking hates you. FD Signifier hates you. He looks at you like you're the problem. FD Signifier looks at you like you're the reason why black people are suffering in the world, and we got to shut you niggas up. If you're a black man who wants the divine right to tell your women to fall back and let me do this goddamn thing, you're not doing this black shit right. You're not fighting the revolution.
But I want to address this simping allegation. Do I simp for black women? Yes. I love black women. I don't like y'all niggas. This is an easy decision to make. Sorry.
You know what? Speaking of revolution, we got to talk about revolution for a minute. That brings me to another point I gotta bring up, because the revolution is everything.
We need our weed. I don't wear it, but we need it.
It all goes back to the revolution. You know what? Before we talk about revolution, let me do this. Let me shout out some people. After I talk about revolution, I think I'm gonna drop the link because we've been going for a while now. Shout out to Mr. O. Thank you, Mr. O, for supporting the show. We got the $2 Cash App donation. Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate you guys coming through tonight. Link is coming shortly.
I need that money.
The homie Marshall with the $10 Cash App. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, brother. And then right back to back. You know we got these hoes mad back to back. Yeah, that's what we do. We got the hoes mad back to back. GD with the $10 Cash App for the pro-black masculinity convo. The pro-black masculinity convo, it only make the hoes mad back to back.
Hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad.
This is about targeting women of color in the United States of America. Don't tell me, because I didn't get a single apology.
Time has expired.
My life was threatened. Thank you.
Hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad.
And then shout out to Brian. He said, play the 2 Barrels FD Bernard clip. I don't know if I got the FD Bernard clip, bro. Brian, you got to help me out here. What are you even talking about? Because I know I don't have any Bernard Riley clips queued up, but what FD Bernard clip? But you know what, Brian, just for you, I'm going to play a fuck FD signifier clip. Just for you.
You are a faggot. You are borderline more gay than gay men.
Emotional damage. You want some therapy?
Shout out to my man Brian. What clip are you talking about, Brian? Let me know. And shout out to my homie Sam with the $5 Cash Apps. Sam, I am. You know what? There's something else I caught from FD Signifier. I want to drop a little thing for y'all.
Some of y'all went to Jack and Jill's. Some of y'all went to big mega churches. Some of y'all went to HBCUs. We are the children of the elite, and we were expected to follow in the footsteps towards this low-key, very white image of what being black excellence was supposed to be.
Remember our conversation about class war, SKC. Black feminism is class war that upper class boule niggas wage against the lower class blacks. We'll come back to that though.
And rhetoric is seeping into the mainstream, is that the mainstream hatred of black boys is being reflected through the way that black women talk about us regularly. And because of the way we're depicted. Like it's so many.
So what do you say to what do you say when there's video of you know the brothers that walk around with the microphones and they just ask random questions and whatever, and a brother is standing in front of this condo or hotel, it looks like, on the beach, and he just interviewed, we're talking about random 3 sisters walking, and they're talking about money and relationships or whatever, and this sister literally says sprinkle that's your 7.
I don't know what that means.
That sprinkle is this whole like borderline witchcrafty thing that they're doing now, and they're speaking on, you know, like when people get desperate and the struggle is real, then they start going to spirituality and all this other stuff. So yeah, he's interviewing random
you gotta
people.
Explain to me what that means though. So
sprinkle is. Oh, go ahead.
He went up to the women, and what did he ask them? And then
he asked them about, you know, what does a man have to earn, and, you know, what are you looking for, etc.
You know what? I just remember I was going to talk to you guys about this Black Revolution thing. Now, here's the problem. This is what I've come to understand about this concept of Black Revolution and the Black revolutionaries and why black revolutionaries would take the positions they take. From a pro-black radical revolutionary standpoint, which FB signifier would probably land somewhere on that spectrum, the idea of overthrowing white supremacy, black men cannot do it on their own. From the left-wing pro-black perspective, black men, for whatever reason, we can talk about that later, but black men are incapable of defeating white supremacy on their own. So we need the equality of black women so they can be equal partners in the war. They can be equal warriors. If we go back to the pro-black revolutionary era of the Panthers and such, that is when that idea reached full praxis, when they actually began to create violent, aggressive, radical black female revolutionaries. They wanted to create black women who could be as equal to men as you could make possible for the explicit purpose of attacking white supremacy. You cannot, from the black left-wing perspective, you can't beat the white man without your girls helping, you fucking homo. You can't beat that man without your girl. What kind of man? What kind of male? No other male in the world of male affairs looks at his girl like, hey babe, look. That nigga about to come over here and he gonna do God knows what. And I need you. I'm gonna give you all of my power. I'm gonna give you half my He-Man power. I'm gonna make you She-Ra. I'm gonna give you my He-Man power so you can help me fight this big, giant Caucasian male. Cause if you aren't equal to me, I can't fight this Caucasian man off. I need a woman who's just like a man so that I can fight this white man. That is the pro-black male position. I need black women to be like black men so we can fight this white man together like a fucking team. You fucking pussies.
Nigga, please. Serious.
All right, that is basically my theory of black female equality. You niggas want her to be equal because you can't beat a white boy fair up. You can only fight in teams. You can only fight in packs. You can't beat a nigga head to head. You got to get your baby mama. You got to have your baby mama imbued with all the power of masculine glory so you can dethrone the white man. That is the theory of black male feminism in a nutshell, because black feminism is a radical revolutionary position, and you niggas fancy yourselves as radical revolutionaries and such, and you need your girl's help. She got good credit. You can't buy a gun by yourself. You need her to help you out with that. You need her to do things for you. She be buying you Jordans and shit. She got the plug. Your fucking girl got the plug.
Etc. And the sisters started coming up with their, $150,000 and all type of insanity. And then one of them at the end of it said sprinkle, sprinkle. Now, if you don't know, there's a content creator named Shira7. She's really doing numbers on TikTok. Her numbers on YouTube or whatever, but she's really doing numbers on TikTok to the point that even white women and white girls are watching her. So it's like that crazy. And her tagline is sprinkle, sprinkle, right? So sprinkle, sprinkle is like, you put some, for Haitian, we say poud, which is like, you put some powder on it. Like the sprinkle, sprinkle it's playing on something, on some voodoo-ish, right? So Yeah. So when this black woman says sprinkle sprinkle, what I'm saying is this type of stuff is leaking into the mainstream, well, black women spaces. I'm not saying that all. I'm not saying most. So I want to be clear. I don't want to be hyperbolic with that statement, but I am saying that you can interview or speak to random black women, and you'll be surprised on who they're listening to. Right? Cynthia G had 130,000 subscribers, but her videos were doing numbers, so the subscriber base was smaller, but the numbers
Her
was 6
videos
million.
weren't doing
Yeah.
numbers. She had maybe a handful of videos. First off, she had maybe a handful of videos, and I didn't look at her videos since when I did the Black Manager video last year.
Yeah.
But she did not have videos.
You know, this issue that Cynthia G, she wasn't that big. You guys are just complaining about nothing. That kind of seems to be the general tone that people take against men when they do raise whatever issue, whether it's, the family court or unfairness and in the legal system broadly speaking, or these unfair like hiring policies, just the unfair social climate broadly speaking. They always say, oh, you guys complaining too much, it's not that bad or whatever. And again, this is from that political standpoint, this is why men are breaking from not just the Democrat Party, but men are kind of just at odds with a lot of left-wing culture, because you guys don't seem like you really don't give a shit about what men care about. And from a black male perspective, what part of being pro-black is pro-black man?
But I want to address this simping allegation. Do I simp for black women? Yes.
Yeah.
I love black women. I don't like y'all niggas. This is an easy decision to make. Sorry.
Shout out to Rational B. Before we get to the panel, and thank you guys so much for supporting the show. Thank you guys for being here tonight. We had a nice study. We had a large audience. For my small, meager channel, I am not an FD signifier. I got to totally reconfigure how I approach YouTube so I can get on the FD signifier path, so I can grift at a high level. But I appreciate each and every one of my listeners, because, we got a cult following here. Everybody who's here fucking wants to be here, really, really likes to be here. We're not just here for the clout. We here because you believe in something. And so I appreciate all my listeners. But before we jump to the panel, let me say this. And guys, I know I got you up on the panel. Just hold on for one more second. Shout out to Rational B. I totally forgot about this moment back on the Bernard Riley show. And I always shout out, but I always shout out Bernard Riley because that's the big homie. My channel kind of respond off of his channel. And like I said, we did a lot of great work. And I totally forgot about this clip. Rational B just reminded me of this moment. Great moments in Bernard Riley hood conservative history right here. You mad at this white girl because she talked to a supposed white supremacist and she didn't fight your black fight for you. The nerve of you niggas wanting a white girl to fight your black fight for you. But
Lord, y'all getting these panels. Some of y'all, not everybody, getting y'all feelings. And y'all have these shouting matches with each other.
To be fair, full disclosure, I know I'm doing this show tonight with full, passion and gusto and vigor. I always hated this motherfucker. For fucking years, you've been a bitch ass nigga in my eyes, bro. Fuck that. We going at it.
Imagine.
Honey, can I get it?
Hold on. Give me one more minute. Give me a second.
It's not going to happen. We're not working together with the actual people we're in community with, which includes black women and queer people. And it's never happened.
Okay, wait a minute. What do you think black women and queer people, black boys?
Stop. That is a good question. We did ask him that, and I don't think we got a satisfying answer. I want to pass it to Hood Conservative. Go ahead, Hood Conservative. What prompted you to come up, or you can respond directly.
Wow, that was.
Now.
Nah, I don't even think you want me to respond directly to
No,
where
no,
it's at
please,
right now.
please,
I would
please.
get you
Do-
straight.
do-
No, because yeah, queer people and children, like, come on. Yeah, anyway, nigga. Anyway, so
Hold on.
so
The civil rights movement,
have we not?
was that an only black male led movement? The Black Panthers, was that only black male led? These movements that were actually
Well,
successful in creating social change in America, were they actually only black male led?
You keep speaking of the Black
That has
Manosphere like it's a
nothing.
movement.
That has
This is not
nothing
a
to do.
movement, man.
This is responding to
No.
Bernard's
The
question.
civil rights.
Wait,
The
let me
civil
finish.
rights has nothing to do with what's happening today. So that's
It doesn't?
irrelevant. That fight is fought. That fight is fought and over. The men that you're contending with right now have an entirely different set of issues and complaints that are not directly connected to the civil rights movement or who did what and who shot John.
He's talking about in principle. He's not talking about.
All right, so
like,
let's. I want to hear.
No, because what he
Hood
wanted to
came
do
up
is
with.
use that as a wedge to try to introduce some other interests that have nothing to do with what we want to talk about. So never mind that. The thing that made me want to come up here, and this is something I think we might have to revisit this issue, Bernard, because I guess we're way deep into this show now, and I want to talk about this more in depth. But I've been listening to a lot of the pushback for the last week or so over the Pearly thing. And I was really struck back. Somebody mentioned Sperling earlier, and I was kind of struck how deep and hard Sperling was going. Because I don't know if you noticed, he was like calling niggas monkeys and bonobos and chimpanzees and shit. Like, he was really going in on niggas all over this white girl who did nothing to nobody, and nobody did nothing to like help her along the way as far as the Black manosphere is concerned. And it's just amazing. It's really amazing to me how some people, and I'm saying somebody, especially in regards to Mr. FD right here in front of us, some people can say that they care about the community on the whole, yet they take this little opportunity, they take this really, really nothing of an opportunity to absolutely shit on everything that Black men believe in, everything that we want, everything that matters to us, everything that we say is important, everything that just fucking bothers us, all because you're upset with a white woman. And I think that's a really deep psychological point right there. Like, something about this white woman just brings out all the Black male hatred. And so now FD up here basically trying to get us to explain why she's successful as if we're responsible for it. Like, you want bad enough that your vision of Black men is to be some type of drone for the matriarchal community that you think is the way it's supposed to be, because there is no Black male sovereignty in a matriarchal community. The idea that the Black women are going to get freedom and have everything they want, and that automatically means the Black men are going to be happy, you're lying, and you know you're lying, because you ultimately don't value what Black men want. So how you going to sell Black men a world where what we want matters when you don't fucking care? The whole thing is a scam. And this is what I've been noticing lately about this so-called pro-Black movement. And I don't got beef with every single pro-Black out there, but goddamn, y'all niggas really going hard against Black men, more so than the white man that you're supposed to be out there fighting. We just saw a perfect example of that with Obsidian running Jason Black interviews talking to Jared Taylor. You mad at this white girl because she talked to a supposed white supremacist and she didn't fight your Black fight for you. The nerve of you niggas wanting a white girl to fight your Black fight for you. But anyway, y'all mad that the white girl didn't fight for your Black ass. And then Jason Black dumbass, he's sitting there being fucking Samuel Jackson and Django. When he talking to Jared Taylor, yo, Obsidian was killing me with that shit. Holy shit, this nigga was nice to the motherfucker. All you niggas, this is exactly how all you niggas act. You ride hard on Black men who actually care about themselves and want to see their brothers not suffer under this dumb shit you niggas believe in, and then you go around and kowtow to white people who don't love us at fucking all. How dare you niggas, bro? What the fuck is up with that?
Let's go!
Shut.
Let's go! Yo, can I
shit
add on to that?
We used to have good times over there, man. We had a lot of good times over there. We got a panel. I had you guys waiting patiently. I revisited a little brief glory moment. I totally forgot about that clip. Thank you, Rational B, for dropping that clip in the chat, man. That was great.
Well, just I want to add on to what you said because like with FD, like I got smoke for FD. I do because one of like the greatest animes that he's against, and the reason why he's against it because he's against like the masculinity in the anime. This was Attack on Titan, and because pretty much a decision had to be made, and it was basically delete half the world or lose the whole world. And FD was like, why would you do that? Kind of thing. So, yeah, like you might not understand the reference, but basically FD was like, he was on some, why would you delete half the world when you could just let everybody go?
Because he doesn't understand. I mean, listen. I am not saying that every element of the masculine urge is somehow beautiful and wonderful and wholesome and loving. There is a deep part of the masculine desire. Listen, if I can't conquer the world, I'll burn this son of a bitch down. Right? That's a part of the extreme male ego too, right? But to see it expressed in an anime form is not something to cry about. That's kind of where you fall off the map. Like don't cry because a cartoon hurt your feelings, nigga.
Well, FD, his whole thing was like he doesn't agree with it at all, and like he's pretty much like an illustration of like the average like incel when like what he was talking about, like the whole thing was like lose the whole world or save half the world. Yeah.
We got like a kind of a full house in here tonight, man. Welcome to the show, guys. Black Socrates, you were the very first to join the panel, so let me hear from you, man. What's going on?
Hey, how's it going, everyone? How's everyone doing?
Hey, Black Socrates.
What's good,
All right, cool. So what's the actual question? The question is why the black community is filled with black men who are feminists, or
you can take that question if you like. I just simply state that there are too many black feminists. You can take that wherever you want to go with it.
Well, of course there would be a lot of black feminists. The black community is a matriarchy, so.
Mm-hmm. You want to? It sounded like you had a theory as to why. I am curious. I do want to hear you guys' explanation as to the whys. I have my own theories, but I don't care about my shit.
Can I interject? Black Socrates is a god.
Hold on. Don't cut him off yet, because I just gave him the mic. I want to hear Black Socrates. Why do you think maybe there are so many black feminists, black male feminists?
Because the black community is a gynocratic matriarchy, where all the resources from the civil rights movement up until now has been put towards black women, and therefore a lot of black men have decided that their way to get resources is by cowtailing and simping for black women, and that's why they're black feminists. It's all about.
I think there is a lot of truth in that.
It's the same reason why black men care about game, black men care about dressing up and having swag. It's all to appease black women who have the resources. So instead of actually getting skills and being masculine, I'm not saying all black men, obviously, but the black men who are feminists, they've decided that they're not going to try to pursue masculinity or take hold of masculinity. They're just going to kowtow to black women and be, a hybrid, homosexual, chimpanzee type of, compliant, subservient acolyte for the gynocratic order.
I think you complicate it, though.
Well, let me just say this. Let me say this real quick. You mentioned game, Socrates, and one of my observations about the evolution, the advent and evolution of game. There was no real game as we understand it before the modern world. Like before modernity, there was the Victorian era. We had maybe the industrial age, then there was the Victorian era, then the industrial age, and then there was modernity, right? Yeah. Game kind of came to be somewhere in late industrialism. And what happened with late industrialism was all the the feminism and the women's rights and all that shit. And what I think is that game is an advent of extreme modernity. And from the black male perspective, game is it's a supplement for the lack of traditional masculine quality. Whether or
Yeah.
not, without getting into social political shit, I'm just saying that for a lot of black men, they can make up for wherever they place in the masculine scale, they can make up for that with an element of game. And that seems to be very key in black love.
I so don't agree with that. That is totally false, bro.
Me too.
Hold on, dirty.
Okay.
Wait. Don't jump the line. Don't jump the line, dirty. Andre, you were next up, bro.
Game is pretty much like dealing with low quality black women. That's what it is. Like, we gotta call it what it is. I mean, like you might catch some like decent quality black women in the net, but for the most part, it's low quality black women. We gotta call it what it is.
That's crazy word. Low quality black women fuck the logo. That's why we call them nation hoes. Look, game is eternal, bro. Like the first printed book on a book press was the Iliad. You know what the Iliad was about? A nigga with game fucking a married woman. Man, Don Juan DeMarco was a quote unquote pimp, but they ain't call him a pimp because he white. That's game. Everybody got game. That's why shotgun marriages exist. Because you're like, you're not just gonna take the honey for free. I'm gonna put my gun in your mouth. You're gonna marry my daughter. You got her pregnant. But everybody's game is game. It's not a, oh my God, 1960s people learn how to talk in rhymes. No, game being game. I'm not gonna give y'all that and put that on black women being dumb.
I would counter. Hold on.
Okay,
Before
hold on. Can I say something real quick?
You got it.
If game is game.
Oh, and
if game is game. Whoa. If game is game, somebody was speaking. If game is game.
Spit it out, nigga. If game is game, what?
That's a cliffhanger right there. Come on.
Well, did somebody just drop off? Did he die? What the fuck was that?
I don't know, man.
Did he dave himself? Did he kill himself? Oh well.
That nigga gamed himself to death. What just happened?
No, Dave. He daved himself.
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
All right, you're back. All right, game is game.
I said, if game is game, what game do white men have?
There you go.
PUA.
That is a great question. Do you think the majority of white guys got by with the PUA type of game? Like, that's a very modern concept in and of itself.
Yeah,
but hold on. My initial theory, Dirty Folk, even to you, my initial standpoint is that game, as black people refer to it, is a very modern thing. Before the world of women having rights, there was no room for game. You need to have masculine qualities in order to procure a woman.
Yeah, but hood. Part of your masculine like procurement process was like being charming, talking to the father, showing competence. No, seriously. Like if you ask for a woman, if you were courting a woman or whatever, you had to have a certain part of competence.
I'm not arguing against you. I'm not arguing against you saying having a certain amount of confidence. But before women had rights, you couldn't get by with just confidence. No, because that bitch had a father.
No. Competence.
Competence. Oh, competence is different. There you go.
Hello. Wait. Let me say something real quick. I think this goes back to like the evolution of society. So if you go to the Republic of Plato, Socrates did this long speech when he talked about how societies evolved to having a democracy, which is a society of honor, which is militaristic, then an oligarchy after they cure wealth, to a democracy, then a tyranny. So my thing is that the reason why game has become important is because society became more democratic. Why society became more democratic? More people were allowed to vote, including women. So it started leaning towards more quote unquote democratic values. What are democratic values? The gift of gab, being loquacious, being cutthroat and servile and sneaky, more like Iago. Whereas prior to this, societies were more timocratic, meaning that militaristic virtues were applauded.
Black Socrates, like
what?
Just go ahead and like try to tell a bitch about like all these ideologies and see if you get any play.
What?
Yeah, but I'm as pro black as it. Look, I'm as pro male as it gets, right? Fuck them colors. Yeah. I'm as pro male as it gets, right?
Sure.
And I need you to quit convoluting man and woman with black women because women don't come in black. You got masculine
Okay.
men with vaginas. But
Facts.
what do you call it? Courting, game, chivalry,
Dating.
dating, whatever you call it, right? It's that, as a matter of fact, even biblically, them motherfucking Jews was spitting so much game that you had to have Moses go on a mountain and counterfeit some shit to come back and say, yo, don't fuck your neighbor wife, bro. Quit spitting game at your neighbor wife. You didn't call it game. It was
no,
fucking game.
no. The guy who won the battle got the woman. Like if you were in medieval times and you were the best warrior, you got women because they would have got women for you.
Yeah, like, but
40 years for a 7-day walk.
Hey, let me bridge the gap. Let me bridge the gap between Black Socrates and Dirty. So like all these things are natural derivatives of things that would not normally happen. Game is just like a offshoot of this, just like PUA is an offshoot. And it's like, I mean, peacocking just happens in natural society, man. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. Just an extreme version of it.
I'm not.
To me, game is important after the fight is over. It's like that's what game is important. It's what diplomacy comes after the war, right? So during times of war, there's a complete diminishing of that.
Like you guys got it all fucked up. Shaka like has it right in the chat when he said that like game is only for you mago mindset goddess-centric fools.
I mean, I kind of got it right.
Yeah, like back in the day, like try spitting game. Like game back in the day was get your fucking head cut off.
But it wasn't, bro. Y'all act like everything is war, and then you hit her over the head and drag her back to the cave, which I recommend.
It was.
Dirty folk. I would argue that for the majority of human history, that was more close. That was a lot closer to the reality than game.
Have you ever read Viking poetry? Have you ever read Viking poetry? Have you ever read the poetry of the Mongols? Like, come on, like.
Nigga, I read no poetry. What are you talking about?
Look, I respect it, bro. I have a chapter in my book called "How to Properly."
I read no poetry.
No, for real. I got a chapter in my book "How to Properly Date Rape." Right, and the end is after you take it, you got to cuddle with her and watch Bill Cosby show rerun, so she don't know she got it took.
Oh my god!
But look, so I'm with the caveman.
Dirty don't read no poetry neither.
You know, it's mild.
Yeah, he go to poetry slam the poet.
I do that too, but I snap my fingers and I smash the girl talking about the majestic. Look, what I'm saying is, they're not going to put a 1960s on dudes talking to women unsupervised. That's all I'm saying. I'm not even saying that what y'all saying is wrong. I'm not saying it's a nigga shit that happened after girls got the right to talk with clothes on. Niggas been trying to get girls' clothes off. Your great granddaddy was a stepdaddy who married a single mama who was a side chick to the granddaddy that everybody talk about. Like he had families around the corner.
Hey, I think you got a point there, Dirty.
Hold on, dirty folk. Let's imagine my great granddaddy. He was alive during the time women got rights. That's kind of exactly where the problem comes in. I'm not going to totally disavow everything you argue, but the existence of women having rights mean that there are a lot more unsupervised women.
Hey, yo, can we just agree that them men back in the 1920s that allowed them bitches to go ahead and have a voice like Susie B. Anthony, allowed them bitches to fucking vote, is a problem that we in now. Look, generations just got weaker and fucking weaker and fucking weaker. You know what I'm saying? All because them niggas can control their bitches.
I'll agree with that, but the 1920s, which is when all hoes happen, in times of
poverty,
in times of poverty, all girls bust down on their third husband. And what I'm saying is, it's not a 1960s problem. That's all I'm saying. Y'all be like, man, they came out here and got an Arthur Bonds.
Dirty folk. Did Gilgamesh have game?
Hey, Gilgamesh had bread, bro. His money didn't talk.
What about Alexander the Great? Was Alexander the Great smooth with the talking?
Great.
You think he was smooth?
That's a bad example. I think he loved men more than he loved women, but we ain't.
That's not.
I mean, no. That kind of makes the question. They knew he was bisexual, and the bitch was like, he's still a king, though.
Wait. Hold up. They still doing that to this day. There's a dude in Atlanta right now doing makeup tutorials and women lining up out the block to date this dude.
That's a slander that Alexander the Great was bisexual. Historians made that up after the fact. There's no evidence of it.
Look.
Yeah, but there was enough of them in that society.
I can accept that.
There was enough of them in that society though to know, like, hey, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even to this day, If you go to certain parts of Europe, they be like the men are for fun and the women are for children.
Well, the smart thing,
Again, that's
Bro, can we
no.
put this train back on
Whoa,
track?
I
wait,
am
hold
not going to deny
on.
the homosexual erotica of ancient Greece. They was very with
Whoa,
the shit.
whoa. I'm not gonna sit here and listen to slander.
Slander is documented
Yes.
facts now,
No, it's
man.
not. No,
We
it's
know
not.
Alexander. We know
The
Alexander was
Spartans.
a Macedonian first.
What they
Hold
never put in the
on.
movie 300
Hold
was the
on.
boy fucking. That's the
Whoa,
exact thing missing from the movie 300.
Hold on. First of all, number one, the arguments about how gay Greece was is highly exaggerated, and there's actually scant evidence.
You're not gonna
Yes,
tell
it
me.
is.
Are you
I'm telling
serious
you.
with
Yes.
all of
Oh man. Okay. Listen.
going around? Are you
We don't have to
serious?
argue. Oh man. Listen.
No. So what you're saying is it did happen. It just happened in less. It just happened less, huh?
Listen to my argument.
He
Listen to
said
my argument.
they were only a little gay.
Let me see my no. Listen to my argument. Number one.
Before we had this argument, let's keep this in
Yeah.
context. You're not gonna tell me your people not dick suckers when you on the phone talking about Keisha ain't shit.
Wait, huh? I can't hear him. What you said?
Say Keisha ain't shit, and then bail out when we say your niggas suck dick. You're not gonna do that. You're gonna take this
What?
savage. They ain't giving it back.
What? What you said? I can't hear him. What you said?
They have lady boys. These motherfuckers. The fucking Mona Lisa is a picture of a man in drag and white men.
No, it is. What?
It
No.
is.
No. Well, hold on. First of all, I'm not gonna
You on
talk
your own with
about.
with the Mona Lisa. I'm not
Yeah.
claiming that one.
Let's talk about ancient Greece. So first of all, in ancient Greece, right? Number one, the arguments that people made about them being gay is from gay historians or pro-gay historians who would read into ancient Greece history and culture gayness. There is hardly any evidence in actual Greece. Prime example. There is no gay gods. Name one of the gods who are gay, or did Zeus ever rape someone? A male? No.
Hold on. Let him cook.
Go ahead.
Let him cook. Let him
Go ahead and have my argument.
But Hood, he asked a question. He asked a question.
Are you finished though? Are you finished?
No. What they use is those clay pots and the pictures on clay pots, and they said that a whole bunch of them depicted gay acts. That is not true. Only a few of them, and those clay pots were belonging to particular wealthy men who may have an interest in this. That was not widespread. The next argument is that there was this concept of mentorship where mentors had younger people and they had a homosexual relationship with them. That is an abuse of the words. They take the words and say, oh, they must be gay because like they do this now. There was two people found in Pompeii who were hugging each other and they say, oh, those two people must have been gay. They could have been brothers. Yeah, I'm like, they do this. They read gay stuff into everything. That's not.
You know what's so funny? You know what's so funny on Twitter? They told the Pompeii gay story, and they were like, imagine 10,000 years ago, a volcano's about to a volcano's blowing up in your face. You can see it. There's no way out, and you or your homie are like, hey, bro, it was nice life, man. Good knowing you. And next thing you know, modern people be like, look at these two faggots.
Y'all just supposed to like give each other like a little dap, but make sure there's a gap.
What if it's a father and son? What if it's a father and son? All I'm saying is that they do read gayness into things. They read gayness. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, can we stop going down this weird line of conversation? I'm not sure why we're talking about gayness.
We can't.
No, it's funny. It did come up, but hold on. The other question on the table though, is black male feminism, which gayness is kind of an ancillary connection to that topic. But why are there so many why is male feminism so prevalent in the black male population? Because more so than any other group of men, especially in America, black men are the most progressive, the most egalitarian. We are the most feminist, and I hate that for us. That's why we suck.
You know why, Hood? It's go all the way back to that nigga W.E. Du Bois. He was the most progressive ass nigga. This go back to the 1920s, back at the Harlem Renaissance with all them faggot ass writers, and they got together and influenced a new black man, which became the fucking dudes in the World War II, which became the niggas that became, we called them gay ass boomers, and retrospect we called them other niggas, man. Look, anytime you have a motherfucker Black History Month and only people that are referenced are the communists, Marxist motherfucker people that follow feminist agenda, that program your goofy ass, who do you blame?
Well, there you go right there. Go ahead, Freeman.
All the way back to slavery.
That's You
Hold
can
on,
go back.
Freeman's Journal. Yeah, jump in
Wait,
there.
we got Freeman's up here.
At the
What's good, Freeman?
yo, what's up? Hey, at the inception of freedom, that is where it was, and it has remained there until this day. I mean, that's all it is. I mean, I hate to say the legacy of slavery. I'm not saying that as to point the finger, but I mean, they have been subservient to women since then. Like it didn't come from anywhere else, right? It didn't land like an asteroid in 1899 or anything. It's been that way, right?
Man, we ain't land on mama's cot landing on us.
So like I was hold on. Like I was saying earlier, well, I put a post on Twitter. It's just black men are that way. And this whole gender war thing is not a gender war, right? It's just black men who are looking at that and saying, I don't want any part of it. And they're just walking away. And so the women and the D.L. Hughley brigade, right, are throwing a fit. Right, because they see people walking away, and it just comes with all the sign language: shame, blame, and explain. Right, and the sign language. Right, that's all you get. Just over and over again.
Freeman, is your mama black?
Wait, hey, no. Here's the question: my mama light skinned, but I like dark skinned women.
Mine's too, Freeman. Mine's too. What a coinky dink.
I'll add to it. I want to add to what you guys said because both of those are great answers, and that's why black people can't get past slavery too. By the way, because slavery is the best time in American history for black women. That's why everybody's been enslaved, every country, every peoples, but everybody else can go back to a time in which things were great, and black people have to go to nursery rhymes like we was kings, and it was a matriarchy anyway. But I'll say this.
Or more recently, the 1950s, for some reason.
But this is my reason. I like the slavery move. That was good. I like what Mr. O said. That was good. I'm gonna say because black men are fucking cowards.
I agree with you. That was great.
They hide behind the skirts of women. They hide behind Mexicans talking about a black and brown coalition. They got to go get some goddamn Africans who fucking eat pig noses and be like, oh, they black too. Man, we all playing a crayon game. Maybe they'll help us.
Hey, Dirk, you forgot one thing. They let the white man run the NAACP for over 100 years before they even got a chance.
Well, the tiny hat. The tiny hat.
I think we're losing like the point of like the conversation because like initially we were talking about like FD and his whole thing.
But now the question, I thought the question was why are black men feminists? And black men are feminists for the reasons they say it, and because they goddamn cowards.
Well, the example of the feminist was FD, because I think Stanley
FD gay, bro. He closet gay, bro. We already know what his situation.
Well, FD is actually married, but
that don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing, bro.
Well, wait. You never.
He's still gone. He's gay adjacent at best. That's why we come up with this terminology. He's gay adjacent because he's a very pro-gay individual.
Yeah, like I never got to finish. Like FD's married, but like I still believe that he's gay. I still do. It's
bro. Hey, give him the Bud Light treatment.
I listen to what he talks about, and I've actually looked in his comment section, and I've seen like people, like just people that are like, I'm a trans person or a gay person from Russia or Germany or whatever, and I love your content. That's the majority of the people that I see in this comment section.
So, yeah. I mean, yeah, he gets the all that stuff, but also another thing that y'all fail to realize that a lot of people in those weird spaces, like him and Destiny, going back and forth like several times. In fact, Destiny had to block him because
I never knew they were beefing. That's crazy.
Yeah, they was beefing like crazy, man. And Destiny had to block him, man.
Pause. You can't say those two people and then say beef. Pause. You just got to put a pause.
Yeah.
Hey, you heard about Nick Fuentes and Destiny, little bro love.
We ain't going there, man. We're
not gonna go there. I'm gonna say this: the Nick thing is they always trying to put that on the little nigga. The Destiny part is 1,000% true. Destiny be out there sucking niggas off, but they keep trying to say that's Nick, and they just hating on a little nigga. There's no confirmation whatsoever that that's Nick, but they be trying to say that that's him.
I thought Nick was just a super incel, like Saban.
He is like the nigga too incel to be gay. Even like, goddamn, stop that shit.
Yeah,
Well, back on topic now. Guys like FD Signifier. Now these gawns. See, again, great illustration, great lead up to this topic. See, he has to see he has to have a beard. And you know why? That's the reason why the women and the feminists of the non-sausage and the sausage kind, they follow his content because again he's a gone.
Hey, is that a double entendre?
I
The
mean,
beard
it
thing?
is. But here's the thing, and this
Yes.
is why, even though I totally invent terminology to express these ideas, I don't want to just land on that and only that, because it kind of removes from the validity of your deeper intellectual arguments. Like, yeah, you're gay, but you're gay and that's kind of where I needed to go. Like, you're gay, but you're gay and you also hate men. You probably hate men because you're gay, but you know you're gay and such and such and such. That's kind of
Yes.
because just to point out they're gay doesn't really get to the bottom of why it's fucked up.
Hey, what's wild with him especially is the fact that he tries to go like, so critical against the dudes, and he don't say nothing to the women. So it's not even like, oh, you were raised by a single mother or whatever. It's like, nah, he done bought this stuff hook, line, and sinker. Because I remember it was either that particular show, Hood, or another one within like, one or 2 week span. We came up on a panel and I was up there too. And this dude actually was like going at Mr. Fantastic like crazy, talking about we need to get together. Y'all need to basically follow me, and we need to link up with our gay brothers and sisters. And I'm like, hell, you
Yeah.
talking about, man? This is the problem.
Well, this is again what I was saying before. Their whole conception of like whiteness and white masculinity requires them to lean on not just women but even the gays, because whiteness is to be white is to be straight. Also, it's kind of a part of their paradigm. Like, queerness is intricately aligned with blackness, but the hetero think about this term, heteronormative patriarchy. That's a thing that they believe in, and it's also
that sounds gay.
but that's what they believe in, and it's an attack point for them. It's an enemy, it's an attack vector for them. They see the heteronormative patriarchy. So heteronormative meaning it's normal to be straight, and patriarchy. So straight patriarchy is the norm, and they see that as something wrong to destroy.
The natural state,
If you have
the
to phrase
natural.
it as
Go
if you have
ahead.
to phrase it if you have to phrase it as heteronormative patriarchy, like that just sounds gay as hell. There's
No,
no
it
reason.
is. It is the natural state of
It
things.
was created by angry mutant homosexuals. So
the the
you're not
nat-
wrong.
the natural state of things is what you take offense to. Like, now think psychologically what that means. The thing that is brought to us by the creator is what you're attacking. Like Hood talks about it all the time. It's the anti-life equation.
Having
Well,
patriarchy like the white man has, that's not gonna help us. All right,
Bro, you know exactly what that is too, and this is why I include that.
Aspiring to be patriarchs like what white men have, that isn't freedom. That isn't going to help anybody. It's certainly not going to help black people.
Hold
And now
that
you
thought.
got to play FD.
Andre, hold that thought 1 second. Shout out to Dominic for the $10 cash app. Thank y'all for supporting the panel, by the way.
Yo.
Hulk! Smash! Smash you! You make Hulk angry! You not like Hulk angry! Hulk no like fighting girls.
Dre, I cut you off. You were about to say something,
Well,
Andre.
yeah, I've been saying for like a few months now. Yeah, you and Z, like y'all need to have a debate, or you and
I'm subscribed to Z, but I've never actually. I don't know if I've ever interacted with Z. I don't think I got beef with Z on any significant level. But it would be interesting to see where the lines actually break
yeah,
apart.
like it's not about having beef, like him, like Z or keep it 100, like I don't think you have beef with either of them. but I think
No,
that like
Hunter's a homie. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what's the difference between
I'm
talking to
open
Mr.
all
Z and
y'all.
BGS? Because he's had plenty of back and forth with BGS.
Well, BGS on a personal level, I just think BGS just dislikes me. So it's this weird thing of when I talk to him, all right, let me say two things. One, BGS has a very sort of obnoxiousness to him. When he talks to just people in general, he seems to talk down to most people. And I don't respond well to that. I'm not an ass kisser, so I'm just gonna talk to you like I don't respect you. Like, I mean, not that I don't respect you, but I'm gonna talk to you with zero reverence. That's the thing. And
As you
BGS,
should. He's a fucking boomer that don't know shit. How you live
BGS,
in the Go ahead.
hold on. BGS seems to respond better to the people in his camp who have a level of reverence for him. And because I don't come off with that, he and I always have this weird standoffish kind of energy. And it's frustrating, but it's something
Yeah,
I hate that about how
yeah.
he and
Like
I interact.
I kind of have the same experience. It is what it is, though.
I don't have any of this because I don't like you. I don't mess with you. Shoot your car tires. I'm from Chicago though. I'm from a place where you say something online and people come at your crib, bro. Rest in peace of JoJo.
Well, you're
Like,
from Chicago.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah, yeah.
arguing
Let's leave
with you.
Chicago politics
well,
off
okay,
out of
Chicago.
it.
Well, so but here's my thing, bro. Here's my thing. BGS being part of it, right? Boomers hate males. Listen to old men, how they revere. Me and my friends talk about how boomers have given their entire legacy, their houses, their money to whatever girl they were dating right before they died. Like, here, take that. Like, forget you got 3 kids. I was talking to somebody earlier today, Kareem, and I was like, bro, you would be amazed at how many guys I've met over the last 10 years who found out they had siblings at that daddy funeral. You'll be shocked, right? Boomers have boomer men, all of them, white and black, right, have a hatred for order, for structure, for their dads, for their sons, that is borderline gay. It really is. Their woman worship is incredible,
What do you
bro.
mean borderline? They are full gay, sir. Look,
You
again,
gotta come.
the
No, no,
sexual
no,
revolution.
no, sir. They're androgynous, sir.
Whatever.
Respect their pronoun. Respect their pronoun.
Man, look,
Well,
man. You cannot convince me that a nigga that put on bell bottoms, walked around with the fake ass masculinity symbol, walking around with a fake beauty mode on the fucking side of their skin, both the white ones and the black ones, Jerry curl or not. You know what I'm saying? You cannot tell me they not motherfucking gay. And the gayest songs of all time. Come on, do we have
Bro,
to bring up one of them?
I did not say they did not suck a swiller from time to time. I said respect their
wait,
pronoun. They
wait, wait, wait,
androgynous.
wait, wait.
Man,
Pause.
I gotta go ahead and say it's older millennials too. So look, older millennials and boomers. I
Real
gotta
quick,
put it
shout
out
out
there.
to Brian, y'all. Shout out to Brian. Thank y'all for supporting the show, by the way. I don't want to interrupt the flow, but continue.
Yeah, like there's a pause that was needed in what like the line of like conversation that y'all were going down. Just throw a pause in there and continue.
Oh my god.
We
Yo,
always
like
count for an appropriate pause. Pauses are necessary.
man, yo, like no lie though, man. Like never trust anybody, man, that, especially men that call themselves intersexual feminists. You can't trust them, man, at all.
Intersectional feminist is wild. That's
No,
Yeah.
that's the
What the
thing,
fuck
dirty.
is that?
Bro,
Yo,
that's
all
like
this,
that's like a lie on top of a fantasy. Like intersectional and then feminist. Like that's two made up things trying to fucking make a fake
Bro,
baby.
yeah, but this stuff is perfected in the universities. That's where this crap came from, man.
you
Like
know.
there's women that will correct you if you just tell them they're a feminist. They need a modifier. You know what I'm saying? Last time I checked, from the English language, where modifiers hardly ever do what they're intended to do. In fact, most of the time they take away versus adding. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I owe you guys an apology. When I was going through my slavery rebrand, I was talking to some liberals, right? No, true story. And they were all school teachers. These are the people that teach your kids, sirs. I'm talking to some liberals, and I ran down all the descriptors of what slavery is, right? And then I said, man, I think we should call it like but I didn't call it slavery. I followed y'all advice, right? And I called it a reparations program. And it was like, oh man, I love it. Program is the key, bro. We're gonna bring it back to slavery with a program.
Let me jump in here real quick. Good evening, everyone. Let me say this, right? A lot of it is a lot of this feminist bullshit is just for these guys to get access to the black box. It's not as deep as everyone wants to make it. They know that if they exercise any sort of patriarchy, the black woman is going to be in revolt of it. So they just pander and go along so that they can keep getting access to the box.
I disagree.
I mean, okay, you're free to disagree. Yeah, like it's just pandering to get the box. Now, I don't know if anyone noticed, but which is a weird dynamic. The black man's relationship with the black woman is kin to the black woman's relationship with the Democrat Party.
Yep.
And ironically, the black woman always comes out on the wrong side of it. The Democrat Party panders to black women to get their vote. Black men pander to black women to get their box, but the black women don't get anything in return.
And a black man don't get nothing from. Man, all right, I'll follow you, American man. I'm sorry, Hood, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say I'm kind of with Charles on this one. There's no such thing as a black box. Truly, it's all pink on the inside. All women are women.
And not only that, I would agree with everything you said, except I would exchange box for purse. They want because black women are the biggest consumers. All those pandering dudes don't get box, bro.
Hey, even it's a weird thing, right? So maybe at one point in time that was the end goal. Now it's just like, one of them church hugs is good enough for some of these dudes, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, but black women can help you or they can fuck you, but they can't do both. So when you pander, they'll give you cash apps, but they'll never give you ass. If you tell them you hate them, they be like, he need to be dead, but what's your number? I'm a DM. Like it.
Well, I think Derek Jackson.
You know what's so funny?
I think Derek Jackson would beg to differ. I think if you ask Derek Jackson, he'll tell you. I think if you ask Dr. Umar, because they're all spreading their legs for those guys.
It's so funny. Hold on, dirty folks. It's so funny you say that. It's so funny you say that, dirty folks, because I remember this one girl. Literally, she had nothing to help me with until well after I stopped trying to fuck her. But it just so happened she worked at a place that I needed some access to.
Bro, look, they can help you or they can fuck you, but they can look, bro. I know a girl. Look, she can do your taxes every year. Give her some dick, she'll forget how to count. I don't know how to do taxes. Bitch, you did it last 2 years. They can help you or they can fuck you. They can't do both because if they do both, the slavery, right? As far as is the Umar thing, Umar got babies by strippers. You know what type of girls he fuck with, bro? They're not high quality girls, and he paid. He paid and he simp. You got to do one or the other. If you're gonna simp, you should get it for free. If you're gonna pay, then what the fuck you simping for?
Bro, that's beautiful. That's
you just talked a whole bunch of dudes.
Simps don't pay, and niggas that pay don't simp. Like, I don't know where you niggas come from with that shit,
bro.
I actually heard on like the initial topic about like the FD thing. Like, he is a frequent. Maybe not frequent, but he's been over on the Diallo Yada, with the pro-black lefty side and stuff, right? And Mr. Z been over there as well, and so has MOT, and MOT actually got cooked when he went over there.
Hold on. Dre, start off. MOT got cooked when he went over to who? FD Signifier? Tell me that.
No. Well, he went over on Diodo Kenyatta's channel, and that is like a hyper pro-black channel, and he went over there and he was like, the manosphere is trash and all this kind of stuff, and like they were like, what is the manosphere? And like when he started explaining himself, like they just cooked him. It was bad.
I mean that's the MOT problem. Good for him.
Hey, Hood, he is from the future.
Yeah. He's supposed to suffer the things before we suffer them. I'm glad he did that because now I know. That's why we need future niggas, so we know the shit not to do.
Hey,
Yeah, I
hey,
want to
Hood,
point
now
out something that
you got to make that montage with FD, Deborah, and MOT together. That make the whole trifecta in a stream though. But go ahead, y'all.
I want to point out something that FD said, right? When he was talking about who watches videos and this and that. And he said his most watched video was him talking about black conservatives. Now, I would like to see the analytics on that, and I can tell you why. I guarantee you that was.
I can tell you something right away. The title of the video is "Black Conservatives Are Bad at Sex," so you know.
Yeah,
it's
and
super
guess what?
provocative.
Oh yeah,
Wait, what?
But guess what? Hold on. Let me finish. I can guarantee you that most of that, almost million views, came from white liberals because that's porn for them to hear a black person talk about how bad black conservatives are.
At sex, yeah, especially.
I mean, anything.
But like to act like this dude has his hand on the pulse when it comes to general society, he's like stuck in academia land somewhere. You know what I'm saying? He could talk to whoever he wants to talk to. He don't even understand, like, really how we think. You know what I'm saying?
This is why I kind of zeroed in on FD Signifier for tonight's show. Is because not even to make it personal per se, because my personal dislike for him is irrelevant. I mean, it's not like I'm going to try to pick a fight with him if I see him. It's nothing like that. But he represents a wave of black male intellectual thought that is kind of almost consuming the majority of black men. Like he said it himself, most of his audience is men, and I imagine he has a lot of black male listeners, even if it is 50-50. He has a huge channel, so that's a lot of black men, because a lot of dudes have went through college, they've went through the university system, they have had to write papers extolling the virtues of black male feminists. They have had to sing the fucking praises of black male feminism.
To get certain go ahead.
College makes you gay.
Yeah, just real quick, like unfortunately,
college makes you gay. Exactly.
The Frederick Douglass School of Thought. Frederick Douglass was the first black male feminist.
Just unfortunately, I watched a few of his videos, like FT Signifier videos, and like I said, like looking in the comment section, it's like all I'm seeing is I'm a gay person, I'm a trans person from this and this place, and I love your videos. Yeah.
Yeah, he's pandering for like he doesn't actually.
The comment section is saying that kind of
Yeah, because he doesn't actually have a belief system. He's pandering. If the tide changes over the next 20 years, and all that pandering is over, and everyone suddenly goes conservative, I can guarantee you, his videos will change. His content will change because he doesn't really have a position.
I think he is a true believer, and we could debate, we could disagree on this forever, but I think the true believer thing is a real thing, and this is why too many black men are feminists, because they are true believers. It's not a fad, it's not a style, it's a religion. This is the mission from God.
Yeah, but what does a good book say? What does a good book say about, like, teaching the child? So, as an adult, he doesn't depart from it. You teach him at a very young age or whatever, and guess what? You can't get them out of that. They have to have they have to have a come to Jesus moment to get out of that.
You know what? My dad told me something 15 years ago, bro. And my dad a boomer, so it is what it is. My dad said men seek power, which I don't believe black men do, but I digress, right? They said men seek power. So if men think that women have power, you'll see a lot of more boys dressing like girls because they want to get that power. And I said, Pops, you a boomer. You must have been wearing dresses in your day. And that was a joke. But, bro, what you're looking at now is...
His math is relatively sound, though.
I'm not even going to knock it. But my whole thing is, then why didn't you seek power? Why is it that you're trying to?
Because he didn't want to wear a dress, and for a lot of black men, the most obvious path to power was a dress. But your dad said, "You know what? I'm going to work this job. I'm going to go to work every day, and I'm going to just keep this one chick happy, and that's good enough. Because
You know what?
to get more power, I got to wear a dress."
No. Here's the problem with that. Number one, I don't think my dad will have a problem wearing the dress because he's a boomer. Number two, he didn't.
That's
one
cold,
girl.
bro. That's so cold.
No, number two, he didn't.
No,
He didn't.
it's true.
He didn't love just one woman.
Look, you got hold on. You got to let dirty folks dishonor his own father. We will not slander senior dirty folks.
No. Number two, he didn't just love one woman because he's a boomer. So I got 3 sisters, but none of us got the same mama. Number three, bro, it was based on the ties that he was seeing after the 2000s. But they started in the 60s when they was hiding behind women.
Well, hold on. Let me kind of tie this back to reality, and especially for your father's era, black men sought masculinity through the skirt. That's why so many black men have so many women and so many children outside of marriage, because the only real avenue to express masculinity safely is fucking bitches. But all other avenues of masculinity, like listen, I need to control my zone. I need you bitches to behave because I'm trying to build something bigger than you hoes. All of that gets shunned. But if you want to fuck hoes and that's masculinity, there you go.
Well, I mean,
or you can wear a dress. Or you can wear a dress.
I don't even think y'all understand how wild what you said just sounds.
No, we know. We know exactly what it sounds like. But since
I'm not saying it's not wild, I'm saying it is.
No, but we've been around it so long. And to Freeman's point in the chat earlier, no. We're counterculture up here. This ain't what the culture is feeling. That's why we get so much pushback.
And then not only counterculture, but I am of that culture. Like I know it internally. Like I'm not the worst of it, but I got friends, I got homies. Like I see how it goes. So like I'm not speaking I'm not speaking theoretically. I'm speaking observationally.
Yeah, but like this is what happens with a lot of people that talk from like the almost like an academia, like like the clouds, if you will. Like they believe in a utopia or whatever, and there is no utopia because that means no place anyway.
And again, speaking of the academia and people who not only do they live in the clouds, they pontificate on how the clouds should function. We are down here in the real world with regular people, and the cloud people don't know shit about this real world life.
Some of y'all went to Jack and Jill's. Some of y'all went to big mega churches. Some of y'all went to HBCUs. We are the children of the elite, and we were expected to follow in the footsteps towards this low-key, very white image of what being black excellence was supposed to be.
And remember, black excellence, the white version of black excellence, as FD puts it, is very straight, very patriarchal, very masculine. That's why these niggas is gay.
Facts.
Well, Hood, like
comes back around to feminism, huh?
Well, Hood, like I said, like my biggest point of contention with FD is that he has beef with like the most masculine fucking anime. I'm not gonna say ever made, but like in the last like few years, he has beef with that because a masculine decision had to be made. So let me with him based off that.
Let me address something in the chat. Stanley,
tripping over cartoons, bro. That's crazy work.
It is crazy, but no, set tripping over cartoons is American culture because we had some good cartoons before like 2000. Everything before the 2000s was dope, but well, not everything, but that was the great part of life. Let me say this. I want to address something. Stanley in the chat. I don't think I've said this tonight. Let me say this. Let me introduce Stanley to the chat. Fucking Stanley says the idea that the legacy black male has deep historical roots in Western culture. Yeah, the quote legacy black male has deep historical roots in Western culture and its classical antiquity is ignoring history. No, I'm not ignoring history. I'm embracing history.
Yeah, but
I do not.
And the soup?
Hold on. Let me get this out. I do not imagine my black maleness restricted to niggas in Africa. I am a modern black male of the 22nd century, perhaps. Is that where we are now?
21st, and stop
21st
all that
century.
out of Africa bullshit. But go ahead.
Right. I am a modern black male. I will not allow my maleness to be restricted to niggas in Africa. Whatever their greatness, whatever their misery, you know, whatever highs and lows you want to attribute to Africa, as a modern man, I cannot let my manhood be restricted to simply Africa. I am a man of the world.
Now you realize they hate you for that, right? So like Hood,
Oh, well.
that's why they hate you. Like
That
you
is
know that,
why.
right?
And that is also why I hate them. I hate them because they hate me. That's why my hate is righteous. Their hate is fucking retarded.
God damn it,
Welcome to
we
the Dirty
all
Post podcast. Welcome to the Dirty
man,
Post
we hate
podcast.
righteously over here. God damn it. I know that's right, man. Thank you, Dirty.
We are righteous, hateful patriarchs over here, bro. I didn't just fall out of the sky. I was born to this shit.
We are
I
the
was
true
crafted
hateocracy.
by the modern world.
Hey, we are the true hateocracy. We claiming it.
Hey, seriously though, like what's wrong with his statement? Like you live in the world, and you want to be successful in it, right? No matter what time, through time immemorial, to be successful in the world, you have to figure out like where you fit in, and you have to figure out either you can take like what is it, get down or lay down. You got to do one of the two.
And this is the thing.
And that's only for
How is it that as a modern black man, I'm supposed to have some kind of affinity to a mythological Africanness? This is not even true African history. It's a mythological African history, and I'm supposed to be loyal to when fucking Africans are not loyal to this alleged mythological history. Fucking Africans are trying to get this modern money. These Nigerian niggas is running digital banks frauds and shit. How the fuck I'm supposed to get back to that history? No, I'm an American. I'm a modern man. Let the Africans be modern and let me be modern too.
To add on to that run you just said, the whole African back to Africa movement was propagandized by the so-called fake Methodist preachers down in Philadelphia because they was trying to get that white man's money. That white man told y'all was Africans, and y'all believed them through the so-called fake ass black preachers back in the day. Y'all let Marcus Garvey, a so-called tether, finesse y'all to go back to a place that he didn't even die at.
Quit saying black. Don't play the crayon game. Give them a flag, nigga. They national, right? Give them a flag. Them fake ass Jamaicans coming over here cosplaying, telling you go back to Africa, and they never been to Africa. They went to Britain.
And W.E. Du Bois was a Haitian too. You forgot W.E. Du Bois was a Haitian.
African, bro. Think about that for a second.
Let me answer
that is real
question.
shit. Fucking foreigners told you was African, and now you've been wearing dashikis for 100 years. And the niggas that invented dashikis, they don't wear that shit. They be wearing our knockoff hand-me-downs. They look fucking retard.
It's like it's a five-fold grift spanning across hundreds of years.
It is. It's one of the longest grifts, bro. It's been grifting since grifting been grifting, bro.
Hey, Sam, can you articulate that for me down there in the chat room? Can you articulate that and pontificate that?
Africa
predates the dead. I mean, come on.
Well, here's the thing. You asked what was wrong with what Hood said, right? Now, us males with sense know there's nothing wrong with that. But it's the reason why they hate Hood is because he's not looking at it through the liberal, white, feminist, and then black woman is God view to get to his place in the United States. And so that's why they hate him for it. There's a certain path that you have to travel with these people in order for them to be okay with it. If you travel any other path, which ironically is what's that dreadhead nigga we used to talk about, Anthony Signifier, which is ironically what he said. You have to travel through the white sphere of what it is to be black for black people to accept you.
And that's the bootleg. And that's the bootleg method of thinking. Started by W.E. Du Bois, motherfucking Booker T. Washington, that motherfucking all them niggas from Alpha. What's that? What's that fraternity? You know what I'm saying? All them niggas right there that was sucking dick to the white man Bones and Skull and Bone Society to get their so-called papers. All them niggas motherfucking sellouts, right?
Get dirty. Go,
Yeah,
got it.
but get this. So like all them cats, man, especially the new age ones, man, they all got identity crisis, man. They like FD signifier to me, man. He runs around here like he's not. He
You
doesn't.
call him the meat man? Wait, did you call him the meat man?
No. To me, man, he doesn't seem like he has like all that confidence. Because you know how a man with confidence, they walk a certain way, they talk a certain way. It's almost like he's trying to like prove something. You know what I'm saying? Like he's trying to like do something to the audience, and it's just weird, man. Like he doesn't feel
Well,
comfortable in his
no.
skin.
Let me add something to that. What FD signifier is attempting to establish is a marker for the new masculinity. It is a pro-gay, pro-woman masculinity, which is kind of literally anti some of the hallmarks of traditional masculinity. The new men are the opposite of the old men, and that is what FD signifier is attempting to establish. And this is why I drew a sort of line between a Taz who is sort of useless in this kind of scenario, but he represents something like the common nigga on the street.
Oh
But
God.
then you got FD signifier. You got an FD signifier who would give ideological cover to the common nigga on the street, who is basically a thug feminist. Oh God, that's a sick term. Thug feminist.
Yeah, that's wild.
They're all the
So what
biggest
you're telling
male
me,
feminists.
That is
Hey,
so disgusting.
Tupac was the biggest male feminist. Y'all keep on forgetting that shit, bro.
He was. You're not lying. He was. And this is why we get these ideas, right? Dear mama, you was always a crack fiend mama, but you was a black queen mama, that type of shit. I remember
No,
Tommy
keep your head
Sotomayor.
up, bro. Keep your head up. Come on, bro. Shorty was a busser. Shorty was a busser. And he go ahead, motherfucker, try to save her.
Tommy Sotomayor was the first
hey,
person I remember to
but
really focus in on that line with Tupac about the Black Queen thing. But that's really it. You got the so-called thug nigga who should be above everything, but he's actually subservient to his mom. And this now that I mention that, you see this theme actually playing out in media stories where you got like I'm watching Penguin. This is I think it's on HBO right now, but I watch Penguin, and the nigga is really a murderous savage, but like his mom is the reason for it all. It's such a bizarre Oedipus complex type of thing.
That was what's the name? What was the name? With dude that had the hotel, the Bates Hotel.
Norman Bates.
Yeah, same type of deal. Yeah. His mom was the motivation for all of his masculine rage. But that seems to be the black male trap. Let's put aside Penguin and Norman Bates for a minute. But
Jason Voorhees too. My bad, Jason Voorhees.
No, facts. That these are all archetypal examples from media, but from a black male perspective, you kind of have to get a little bit more intimate with the explanation, because it is a more intimate problem with black men, because actually it's a similar problem because it's the mother figure, but it's such a unique perversion of the mother figure that it creates a unique dynamic for black men.
I have black mother privilege. And I'm going to start breaking that down for y'all. Because there is a privilege for me as a black mother. I'm not going to have the same relationship. My sons adore me. My sons will put their life on the line in a New York minute over me. My sons will lose everything they have over me. Over me? It ain't happening. My sons will turn on their father over me. Over me? So when you ask me about my black sons, the relationship does not correlate the same to what I'm saying about black men.
Shout out to everybody who's been listening so far. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to wind this down pretty soon. We're not done yet, but we're in the home stretch, man. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate everybody who supported the show so far. Somebody else wanted to jump in real quick?
All right. I just want to say this real quick. It's really not that different. Here's the thing, because black women are professional fight promoters, right? You hide behind a girl that wants to see you dead, right? So even when you look at the swirling channels, which I don't, I just know what men and women say, right? So when black men swirl, they say they want a woman that's not Keisha. They just want peace. When black women swirl, they want white men to kill black men. They're always fight promoting. Always, you love your enemy. That's the issue. You're too Christian. That's why Christianity sucks. You're too Christian. You want to love your enemy, and your enemy is the person that puts you to bed and the person you sleep in the bed with, and that's the
Yeah,
person
but
you
that's that modern day stuff though, Dirty.
No,
Like
no, it's always been that.
no, it's a Disney version because like he whipped the Pharisees, man, out of church. He's flipping over tables and stuff.
No, I wasn't
And,
talking about Disney. I was
and they
talking about
tell you don't do that. Turn the other cheek. I'm like,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I thought there was a
I
time
get
for a
it.
sword.
Prosperity preaching.
No,
Yeah, I
no,
thought
no.
there was a time for a sword.
No, that's a whole different podcast, a whole different argument. The problem with monotheism that you both love and you vengeance. That's a whole different thing. But my, I have a question, and I want to ask this to the panel. I want Hood to answer first, right? When did all black men become poor? When did all these rich niggas talk about poor black men? Like all the black women got money that they're getting from men, but all the men somehow broke. They all went
Yeah,
to
but
HBCU.
the numbers don't bear that out, Dirty, and we're
I
not
know
going
it.
off the numbers. It's feeling.
But look, bro, I understand how girl math works. I do videos on girl math. How is this possible? How are all these prosperity pimps saying that? Look, bro, I've been six figures three
Dirty,
times.
hold on. Start from the beginning. You had a question you wanted me to answer
Yeah,
first.
how is it the FD signifiers of the world saying how they love women, hate men, want to see women rich out of men's price range, so they can say they don't need a man, but they hate men, and all the men are poor schmucks that just have to live off a woman like Jody on Baby Boy, but everybody got bread. Somebody
Let me
loves.
hold on. Let me take a stab at it. Give me a second. I'm gonna do two things and then I'm gonna answer first. Let me do these two things and then I'm gonna answer.
But I want to address this simping allegation. Do I simp for black women? Yes.
Yeah.
I love black women. I don't like y'all niggas. This is an easy decision to make.
Save that clip, please.
Sorry.
That clip is saved. I'm gonna keep it. That was number one. Number two, and then I'm gonna answer.
Some of y'all went to Jack and Jill's. Some of y'all went to big mega churches. Some of y'all went to HBCUs. We are the children of the elite, and we were expected to follow in the footsteps towards this low-key, very white image of what being black excellence was supposed to be.
Somewhere I would put this at, because I focus on the Black Panther era in Black history as a significant turning point, and not only Black culture but the Black gender relationship. The Black gender dynamics got flipped because of the Revolutionary era, and it's like I said, you turn the women into revolutionaries, and a revolution is a war. So you made the women into warriors, and warriors were not made to fuck. Like, warriors go out and conquer, and then they fuck what they conquer. So warriors among themselves aren't really meant to fuck, and that's where you fucked up the dynamic between black men and black women. Hold on, Dre. And hold on. And so, because that's where I start the error, that's where I start my answer, dirty folks, as to sort of why so many black men are on this path. We upended the dynamics between black men and black women because, and this is sort of an attack vector I used earlier, black men, they argue, they kind of figure that we need black women to fight the white man. We don't have it in us as men to overthrow what we call white supremacy. And so because we don't have it in us alone as men, we needed women. And that little sandwich of ideas, like the inversion of the black male female dynamic, plus the psychological acceptance of the white supremacy narrative, that is what led to this explosion of male feminism, where a lot of black men, for both reasons, they identify with significant points of the black feminist movement. It's for either it starts at the revolution, but it's either we can't defeat white men on our own, or we really love black women so much that we want them to have all these things that we think white men have. But they both kind of stem from that revolutionary era. But I'm done now. I'm sorry.
But look,
how did they
I
go
gotta tell you
poor?
this. I gotta say this though. What? Ask a black male feminist what he thinks about Sojourner Truth's speech and a woman and how she said that if you do give the damn black man the same willpower, the same power that the so-called white man have, he'll think that all right. Look, I'm just gonna leave it right there.
I'm going to read it for you. I feel that I have the right to have just as much as a man. There is a great stir about colored men getting their rights, but not a word about colored women. And if colored men get their rights and colored women not theirs, the colored men will be masters over the women, and it will be just as bad as it were before. That is a quote that is attributed to Sojourner Truth. I don't know that FD Signifier in particular is aware of that specific quote because it is not incumbent upon those type of people to search out this type of information. This is what we search out in the pro male sphere. Because you're pro male, because we are pro male, we are actually in the business of finding all the examples of female betrayal over the last 100 or so years, because that's how long this thing's been going on. But we look for this information because it's in our interest. We can't expect an FD signifier to really know, let alone engage with this knowledge.
Yeah, but if you presented that to him, he would explain it. He would explain it away somehow.
Somebody got slow.
One at a time. One at a time. Andre, you were speaking.
Was that Andre or me?
True Hype. I'm sorry, True Hype.
Okay, all right. Yeah, he would explain it away. He would say, "Oh, because of time period, because of men, because of racism, because of patriarchy." Even though you never had time to be a proper patriarch, especially this time period which he was alive. That's weird. And then Stanley in the chat, he said something earlier about black men being feminists. And the question earlier, Stanley, was why are there so many black male feminists? Not that black men automatically were feminists, but I mean, at least if you go to college or whatever, you're indoctrinated with these things. You have to at least understand that.
Well, it's a two-part thing. The black men who go through college, I think they get the feminist indoctrination, which it almost kind of absolves them because it's like you kind of just go through the system or whatever. It's like going through the military. It breaks you down to build you up. I think college has a similar sort of process, not as obviously aggressive. It's not as personality crushing as the military may be or used to be. I don't know if it's even like that anymore. We don't seem to have that type of military anymore. But the college system seems to have its own level of indoctrination process, right? But what fascinates me is not the college educated Negro per se. Like, I started this show out with the debate between Taz and Fatty. And Taz would represent like your very basic average hood nigga. And I know from experience, a lot of these niggas haven't really thought through a lot of the type of arguments that we think through. And they naturally lean toward the feminism egalitarian argument. Hood niggas is feminist, bro. That's kind of not one criminal because I can't trust you niggas. You niggas love bitches too much to be out here breaking the law.
That's true.
Hey, but this is clear whenever you drill it down and just ask them questions without actually too much input. And then another thing, right? FD Signifier in that one clip talking about how he didn't like us, or whoever. Be like, don't you have to know somebody not to like them?
No, not at all, bro.
No. Like, but dirty. Give me here, right? Like, I can say that because of pattern recognition, I can know to stay away from you, but I don't definitively know that if I don't like you or not.
Yeah,
But
I'm a mistrust. I'm gonna not trust you because my homie don't like you, but I will develop a dislike a lot quicker if my homie don't like you.
Look, I know for a fact that I don't like any woman from Chicago or Detroit. You don't have to tell me nothing.
Yeah, but that's a pattern recognition. If you was in LA and she was from there and she didn't tell you that, you'd be like, oh, okay. But that'd be one out of whatever. That wouldn't make the rule. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
well, let me let me point something out, right? Because I think you guys are taking the FD signifier comment as he doesn't like you, and it's gonna draw back to what I said. It's all about box. What I gathered from that was I'm pandering to black women because I want black women legs to be open. Allegedly, I don't want to sleep with you men. So I don't like you Negroes.
Wrong, then.
That's what I think it is.
I don't think Signifier is pandering for box. I am willing to accept him at his word that he's a happily married man with children and he's locked into his children. He's a dad, right? I'll accept him that he's locked into dad mode because there's a lot of liberal left-wing dads and he's not like gay or anything. He's not out there actually fucking guys. He might be intellectually homosexual, but I don't think he's gay in that. He's not a practicing homosexual, right?
Well, Hood, please.
I'm not gonna accuse him of practicing homosexuality, right? I think he's intellectually gay, but that's a different criticism. Totally.
Well, Hood, I'm just saying, please keep that quote intellectually homosexual. Please keep that.
I invented the quote. That's straight from here, right? Nobody else comes up with these things but me. These niggas are intellectually gay, bro. You got gay brain.
I mean, you need more people. You need more people, but I mean, okay, I believe it. Look, bro, let me tell you something, bro. Nobody talks about being gay adjacent that much and not be like, let me taste the rainbow. Like, you're not gonna make me believe it. But here's the thing. FD Signifier says something, and it's really boomer. Like, I have dads and uncles that's boomers. And what he said didn't really offend me. It just made me mad. I'm like, damn, he a boomer. And then he ain't even old enough to be a boomer. The dislike, okay, my father and a lot of old men, but my dad in particular, because I know that dude, and his brothers, hate black men so much. To be a black man, it's incredible, right? Man, I don't do business with black men because black men go do nigga business. But you have a job. Do you do nigga business at your job, sir? No, but I'm the better man. And it all come down to being the better man. I went to college. I'm the better man. I work at I'm the better man. I got a pair of Jordans 2 days before they came out. I'm a better man. Better for who?
But
that's weird. That's actually a weird thing, dirty folks, because like that's the Sergeant Waters argument. It goes back a long way in Black America because I'm not against the "I'm the better man" argument per se. I'm so not against that. I'm not gonna like engage in it necessarily every single moment, but I get where that comes from, right? And here's the problem: I think Black folks' better man argument has kind of been fucked up with bad value judgments, like. Once we broke away from a traditional Christian morality ethos, our better man argument became about pussy and devotion to black women. And you're not the better man because you get more pussy. You're not the better man because you say nice words about black women. And that's where we are now. And that's what kind of fucks me up about the better man argument right now.
I agree with that. When I was... Go ahead, bro.
My bad, dirty. I was just gonna say that you left the church and you had to replace that with something else. So what was your religion? Your religion was like pimps and hoes.
Well, no. I think to answer that, what was your religion? Specifically, black people's religion is racism. But the religion of racism places black women in the God position, and that's how you tie it all together.
I kind of like that. But the better man in my day, right? To quote Jay-Z, you couldn't talk about it if you ain't live it. Like, I got hella Tyler tales because I went outside and jumped off the porch too many times, right? And I lived and I was like, yo, this is a crazy story. Like, it'd have been mad if I died, y'all be singing, it's so hard. But I lived, so everybody laughed about it, right? That is a trial by fire. I'm better than you. I put my 10,000 hours playing basketball, football, studying, you know what I'm saying? Publishing, whatever. I put my 10,000 hours in and I'm better than you because I'm more qualified than you. And I don't have to say it. You know it's true when people call me and say, yo, I need such and such done. Can you do it? I'm better than you at what I'm good at.
Let me ask you a question, dirty folks. And I accept everything you said just now, but I want to kind of just ask the question and make a hard break and pose a question. Dirty folks, in your personal estimation, what makes a better man?
Are we talking about men or are we talking about black men? Because
I'm only asking you about men.
Okay, men. Um, the 10,000 hours, bro. Like, there's no definitive. It's like the LeBron James argument. If you have to tell me you're the GOAT, you're probably not the GOAT, right? When you go out of your way to to demean other people, to make them look smaller, to make yourself look bigger, you've lost the better man argument. That's the empty signifier thing, right? I am a better man because I articulate in such a way. I am married. I hit all the boxes I told you is white supremacy that you shouldn't do. I went to college. I got a wife. I got a child. I got a dog named Spot. I got a couple of dollars. I am middle class America, but I'm telling you, middle class America is racist. But send me cash apps. I'm the better man. That's that bullshit.
I wanna go around the table with this question, and then we're gonna wrap this up. True hype. What in your personal estimation, what makes the better man?
Like me personally or whatever, I would go more closer to the Christian ethic. And it'd be those traditional deals to be the better man. Trying to perfect your own crafts or whatever, being a man of value. Also, what I'm saying, being like the utility portion, but you have to be of substance to really truly be worthy of something. And like there's a point to where that's bad, but it's also good to move society forward as well.
American man, what do you think makes the better man?
I'm gonna agree with True Height, but it's morals, principles. Standing on your principles and your morals. Taking care of business. Whatever that looks like for each individual. That to me is sort of what makes you the better man.
Andre, what do you think makes the better man?
In
Mike,
terms of like, in terms of whose definition, like, are we
I'm
talking
not. I'm
female,
not
male?
qualify. I'm not going to qualify it for you. I haven't done that for anyone else so far. I just want you to take it wherever you want to take it.
You're personal. You're personal.
A better man, I would just say a man that handles his business and doesn't fall into these like gynocratic ideologies and stereotypes and stuff. So you're not going to be a
Gynocratic,
simp, basically.
gynocratic
Basically,
ideologies and stereotypes. That hasn't been said yet so far. It just jumped out at me. Freeman's Journal. What, in your estimation, makes a better man?
Someone whose word is good. Um, someone's whose handshake you can trust. Um, somebody you can call at 3 a.m. and tell them to bring a shovel.
I got. I like to think I'm on that friend list, and I only have a handful of people on that friend list as well. But maybe that's the way it should be.
Hey, and they show up with 2 shovels.
There you go, man. Because we got to get this done.
well,
Yeah, we ain't
my
got
bad.
all day. It's almost 6 a.m.
Right? We ain't got all night. We ain't got all night. That's the thing.
All right.
My bad. Can
So,
you please repeat the shovel part? I was reading the chat.
I said,
somebody call
okay.
at
So,
3
what
in the
makes a
morning
better
with a
man?
shovel.
Somebody you can call at 3 a.m. and ask them to bring a shovel.
Oh, okay, yeah,
And they
that's
and they
definitely
show
a
up with
word.
2. So, um, yes, and just I always call it a solid dude, someone who's solid, right? You can tell that they have principles that they live up to all the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
In varied situations, they maintain the same principles. And it's not always ideological, man. Like this, I know a guy was in the Navy. He was kind of liberal, atheist, whatever, right? But but his wife was like taking his kids to church, and he was like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm good with that. I want them to absorb that because I don't want him to end up like any of the rest of these fruitcakes. Even though he's an atheist, right? He still had solid principles, and he was a military guy, and he wanted those principles enforced. Even though he may not personally be on that train, he knew that was the source of those principles, and so he didn't trip on it. You know?
Isn't that funny how people recognize structure?
Yeah,
I think a lot of
How
men
men.
we lean towards structure. I mean, even though some of us may rebel against it, it's our natural inclination to recognize structure, whether we lean into or lean away from it. I want to take this to Mr. O. I haven't asked you yet. What makes a better man, Mr. O?
Well, every gentleman make a round robin. Basically explain what I was gonna say. For the nice people in the crowd, but what Roscoe actually said in the chat, I actually agree with. What makes a better man is he acknowledges that he is a man, and he does what the fuck he damn well pleases, and he knows that he's better. That's it. That's all.
I want to thank everybody for answering that question. I wanted to have that out for posterity. Um, as
Ask
I
the
posed
question,
the
Hood.
as I posed the question, I answered it to myself, and I was trying to listen to you guys at the same time. But I think my answer to the question is the better man is a combination of two things: personal competence, and that might be measured by money or by mastery of a particular craft or something. But it's a combination of personal competence and family acquisition or achievement. The guy who's mastered his own personal craft and has actually maintained a family and carried a family along the way. I think those two individual things are the marks of the better man. Like, there are a lot of good men, but the better men have managed to do both of these things. They've managed to be personally great and maintain some kind of family stability with their personal greatness, because in my mind, that personal greatness has to sort of carry over into a next generation. It has to. Otherwise, it's in a vacuum, and vacuums are death. And you want that personal greatness to reverberate beyond your life. And that's why I think it's a combination between your own mastery of whatever lane you're in and carrying a family along with it. But that's my personal answer. I'm not arguing with anybody.
I'm not gonna argue with you, but since I was the one that brought in the better man argument, and that's why I started off. I said, "Are we talking about just
Right.
men? Or are we talking about black men?" And I agree with what everybody said, but what everybody described was not a better man. What you guys described was a man of integrity, a man of principle.
Aren't
And
those
I
the
don't.
better men, though?
It's all of it.
No.
I do what I damn well please.
No,
That's
why,
what.
why are they not? Hold
Wait,
on.
wait,
Why are they not? Tell me that.
Okay.
Please
Okay,
explain that,
I'll
Dirty.
help you out. I'll help you out. I'll help you out. Because better man in itself is a concept, right? Like game. So you're a male if you're born with a penis, right? You're a man when you can provide for yourself. You're the man when you can provide for another man so he can provide for himself and his family too, right? So a man provides for himself and his family. The man, which would be like an employer or something like that, is a man who can help other men provide for himself and his family, right? The better man, and this is why I asked, are we talking regular or black? The better man only has to do with your impression on women to try to. It's a peacock plume thing. It's not
I think
real.
the question of regular men or black is a canard in and of itself. If you feel the need to differentiate, then let's just drop black from it totally.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
talking about men. If you don't
I,
include black and men, so be it. But I'm talking about men.
Yeah,
I
but
got you, and then I got you. Everything you said was right.
dirty,
Okay, go.
Come on,
Go
man. Like,
ahead. What?
if we're talking about the better man, like we're of the masculine the masculine perspective here. We're talking
No,
about between men,
no,
not
I
not
got what
not
you.
between women. We're
I
talking
no,
about between men.
I got what you guys saying, but what I'm saying is everything you guys said was right about what makes a good man, what makes a great man. Like I would describe those as great men, not better men. It's you know.
Hold on. Maybe
you're losing me.
so
You're losing me with your distinction, dirty folk. Go ahead, America, man. You got it.
Hold on. Maybe I heard you wrong, right? And I'm going to say that I heard you wrong. Did you say the better man is based on what? What was your definition of the better man again?
When people try to act like they're the better man, it's normally an arrogance thing to stand on somebody else. I'm better. It's a thing that
No, no,
people
no, no,
do.
no, 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 no. Just go back to
That's
what
what
you
led us
just
to this
said.
question. That's what led us to this question.
Yeah,
But
right.
how do you answer the question itself? What makes the better man?
Right. Because
And I'm saying
right. So, what was your answer of the better man? Because you went through a good man and a great man. But what was your answer of the better man?
It was something similar that Hood said as well, like merit and being a master of your craft and your destiny.
I need you to rewind this, Hood.
But
I need you to rewind this because I know I heard what I heard.
You got to listen to the replay. You got to listen to the replay. Go ahead, dirty folk.
All I'm saying, and I'm not trying to be contrary, but all I'm saying is I understand what you guys are saying, and I agree with all you guys. I'm saying that the concept of better man, like what makes a man better than you, is different than what a person feels. Okay, dumb people think they're better than you. The reason I asked black or man, right? And I'm not trying to be contrary, but you got to understand that everything that we think is great about being a man is anti-black culture, right? You the smart kid in class, oh, you'll never forget you, right?
That's what I want to get into real quick. Hold on, real quick. Like when
You're
I was
getting into
listening
the
to
black shit, not the man shit, which is a distinction. But
right,
okay.
that's what I was that's all I was saying, bro. I was trying to distinguish between.
But fine. But to be fair, we bypassed all of that in your initial answer to the question. You're now delving into it, but we bypassed all that.
Look, what I wanted to bring up is this, right? Because it seems like FD Signifier, I think that's that guy's name, like he has some kind of perversion of chivalry. And I had a question, or at least a concept that I was trying to work out in my mind while I was hearing you guys argue about it, was just sort of like, what's the, I guess, the African equivalent of that? Because it seems like he's kind of like
we don't know because we're not African.
Yeah,
you would have to ask a group of Africans.
But I wouldn't even know where to go with that. But it's a fair question, perhaps, because we're American. But again, it kind of leads into the black thing, and I have no idea where I would go with that. I don't know what the African version of that answer is, and I'm not going to attempt to besmirch it. I want to jump to somebody else real quickly. The Midwest request, you jumped up on the panel just a second ago, and then we got to keep them 100 up here. I'm going to get to both of y'all. I'm going to pose the question to you, Midwest. What is what makes a better man?
I would say it's kind of being reliable, as far as like when everybody asks you, I guess, for help, you're kind of not bullshitting them. It's kind of just being like stand up, like also taking care of your own business and being able to help out, but also like, you have your whole situation figured out. Like you shouldn't be asking other people to help you out unless you desperately need it, because you got to have some kind of like at least self-respect. There's people that don't have self-respect. They call themselves men. They may be aggressive and violent and everything like that, but that could only get you so far. Like, raw power could only get you so far. You got to use soft power as well. It's kind of mastering both worlds. Pretty much.
No, you talking about that bullshit? That bullshit.
No. Hold on. That soft power thing. That's something as a full adult, I recognize later that soft power is only the first level of real power. Like being able to beat somebody up. That's level one of actual power. Being able to convince other people to beat people up on your behalf. Now you're approaching the real power game. But there's levels to this shit, and so that's level one.
Charles Manson shit.
Right. There's levels to this shit, but
you conceptually, linguistically break some people's knees. Like people can't really do that all the time. They struggle even with simple concepts.
We were engaging the question, what makes the better man? And I wanted to pose the question at a certain level in the hopes of sidestepping the lower level distractions of what's a man and manhood and all that. What makes the better man seems to kind of get past all that. And that being said, I want to take it to Keeping 100. You're probably going to be the last guest that we let on the panel for the night because I got a few people that were trying to get in the room and it was crowded. You took the last spot, Keeping 100. I'm going to ask the question directly to you now. What makes a better man, Keeping 100? Welcome to the show, by the way. It's always good to talk to you, bro.
Most deaf. Good looking. Y'all can hear me loud and clear.
Yeah, you're straight, bro. Go for it.
All right. Now, not to offend nobody, I think that people are going to answer this question and it's going to let us know everything about whether they are a slave or a master, right? And when I say that, what I'm used to hearing, especially from black men, is that they define their manhood by how much they are useful to someone else. Okay. When I hear people say, a better man is somebody who can be counted on and this and that and the other, it sounds great, but that doesn't make you a better man. It makes you a better friend. It makes you a better brother. It makes you, maybe a better worker or something like that. But before you're any of that, because all of that is subjective, when you're a better man, right, you're able to take care of self. You're able to depend on self. You're self-sufficient. You believe in yourself. And that's something that I don't hear enough black men talking about is who are you to yourself? Before you even talk about who are you to the next man or some woman out there, who are you to yourself? And that is the master mentality. The slave mentality defines himself by who he is to others. I am a better man because I don't have to ask nobody for shit. I'm a better man because I believe in myself. I take initiative. I wake myself up in the morning. I take myself to work. I get my own money. I do all of those things myself. Now, who I am to you is defined by our relationship. So a better husband, a better father, a better friend, a better brother, all of those things are separate from being a better man. Because when you're a man, you are a man unto yourself. Okay? So for everybody that disagree with that, that's fine. If you want to define yourself or your manhood or being a man by how you serve others, just remember, being a man, that's who you are. You were born that. And the better man you are, right? The better you are to yourself. Because all those other things I said earlier are relationships. So someone said in the comment section, even a king, you're a great king if you're great to your subjects. But again, that is a relationship between you and your subjects. You're a man before that. Okay.
Let me jump in right there, Mohammed. When you mentioned the royalty, the nobility aspect, and I think I may be saying this wrong because I tried to think of this a while before on another stream. The idea of the noblesse oblige or something like that, where it's like the idea that the nobility have a duty to their subjects, right? And it's not a servitude in the sense of slavery.
No,
where like I'm a direct servant. So when you say and I'm kind of trying to thread the needle, Keeping 100 without disagreeing with everything you laid out, because I don't quite disagree with you, but I think there's a layer of nuance that we need to add. It's not so much that my manhood is viewed as an act of service or servitude. Well, it's service definitely, but it's not servitude in a forced, indefinite manner.
I get it, but it's
And hold on. Let me expound on that though, because this is the explanation is right here. You master yourself to the point that the self becomes a benefactor to the other selves around you.
Right.
And that's not an act of servitude. That is benevolence. Now you master the self so much that you can afford benevolence without it being anything like slavery.
Right. But you understand that you could be benevolent to a woman and not your children. So those
Whoa, hell no.
No,
I would be benevolent to my children before a woman, but I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. Hold on. Let's not all lose our minds. I just don't know what that means. So
listen to the point. Listen to the point that I'm making. Once you
Keep it
define
100 is not a boomer.
once you
No,
define,
no, I'm saying what I'm just he said you can be
Let's
okay
let
with
him
her without.
define what he means, right?
thank you,
Let's allow him to define what he means.
thank you.
Please, please. Let's have a second of order. 100. You were interrupted. Please finish.
So once you go there, right? Then what you do is because you can be a quote unquote, according to your logic. Let me start there. You can be a better man to someone and then not be a better man to someone else, right? When better should be defined by the relationship. So when I said woman versus children, you can be a better father than a husband, right? Those two things are based on the relationship that you have with those people. So yeah, everything that you said, servitude versus service or benevolence, I agree with all that, but that has nothing to do with being a man. A woman can similarly do the same thing.
I
But
think you got so nuanced, and you're not wrong in your nuance, but you got so nuanced it like obscures the argument. Because like, all right, for example, the situation you're laying out, it now depends on a value judgment. For like this, if you're a better father versus a better husband within the context of a marriage, I have nothing to say about that because life's complicated, and why would I jump in that? If you're a better father versus a better boyfriend to some bitch you're fucking, that's the way you should be.
right. But what I'm saying is, again, you're using the wrong words, is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you define better man by relationships vary and they're subjective to
Well, I'm asking
that's
amongst men
hold on.
though. Well, I'm asking among men because we're all men here, and I'm not even weighing this against women's emotions. I'm really asking
no,
men
but a
how
lot
men
of us,
judge
Yeah,
what a better
I
man
want to
is.
take a
but a lot
stab
of
at
us, hold
this.
on. So let me
Okay,
say,
okay.
let me finish my point, so because I want people to understand, because I'm in and I'm out. What I'm saying
All right.
is, a lot of us grew up, and even your FD signifier, you're saying you're asking men, and a lot of men will define being a man or being a better man or manhood based on whatever culture they grew up in and how they were raised to believe that. So that doesn't make it better. What I'm saying is we got to get away from that. Now, what I'm saying is also everything that you guys are laying out has to do with what your relationship is to someone, because your kids can think you're a better man than your wife, but it has nothing to do with being a man. It has more to do with being a father, because that's your relationship to them, and your relationship to that woman is whether it be boyfriend or husband or whatever. You have to define it correctly. So you can be better in one relationship than the other, but
I
being a
don't know that
man,
anybody who answered that question.
Okay.
I don't know that anybody who answered that question on this panel, at least, kind of defined it in terms of women, though. But
no,
all right.
what I'm saying is,
Let me take a stab at it, Hud.
Well, one second.
So,
Let him wrap this up, and then you jump in next. Go ahead, honey.
whether it be about women or anyone else, what I'm saying is the minute you start defining better man by who you are to, I don't care who it is, right? Then you kind of muddy the definition when it should be about being a better man first, and then who you are to other people defined by the relationship. So I'm just saying you make it subjective when you do that. That's all.
okay.
American man, you were wanting to jump in.
Who did that?
So 100, right? I think you may have heard one small thing and blanketed on everyone, and you did not get the totality of what everyone was saying, right? Because I don't believe that the total sum of men that are up here said, yeah, it's all defined by us serving people. So you may have heard one little thing. You may have heard, brother, I listen to you. You may have heard one thing that you disagree with, and then you decided that's what everyone was saying. Now, let me take a stab. At your definition of what I believe you to be saying, right? When you came up here initially, you said that a man has to take care of himself, has to be whatever type of astute man he is to be able to help other people. Correct?
That's not
self first, right?
I didn't say none of what you're saying, bro. a little bit of your
Sir,
no.
hold on. I'm not going to talk. Look, I'm not going to regurgitate verbatim what you said. I
No,
said I'm giving you the roundabout,
no, it's
right?
wrong though.
You did not say self.
Fam,
That wasn't the one thing. Was the better man has to first take care of himself, get up, drive himself to work. That was not one of the things that you said makes
that's
the
why I
better
said
man.
partly, but then you went into other territory that I didn't touch.
I didn't go into other territory. Again, I am not going to regurgitate
Fam, you asked
verbatim what you said.
See, I don't want to turn this into an argument. You asked me what I said, and I'm
It's
telling
not
you.
an argument. Just because we're disagreeing doesn't mean it's an argument. That's how women think.
Hold on, for
How you gonna
the
disagree
sake of
with me
time,
about what I said?
for the sake of time, American man, can
Oh
you
boy.
move on to the point you wanted to make?
Yeah, do that.
The point that I wanted to make was because you can't, well, to me, right? You can't be a better person for anyone else until you've become a better person for yourself, until you've done your own work to build yourself up. Then you could be of service to properly raise a family. Then you could be of service to let's say go out and help your community. That's the point that I want to make.
But those two things are mutually exclusive, though.
Yeah, but like,
hold on. How can they be mutually exclusive if there's no one else to accept that you're out? Like, if you're not beneficial to other people, then how do you judge your quote betterness?
Again, if you're going based on other people's judgments, other people are gonna have different experiences of you. So, whose experience are we to go by?
Well, no, let me not make it about other people's judgments, because that seems to be. Hold on. Let me try something here. I'm trying to bridge a gap. Let me try something here. Instead of saying other people's judgments, let's look at it as: are you useful to your overall community around you? That's not necessarily individual per se, but are you useful? Can a random person extract some use from you? That is kind of what we're trying to frame this around. Not necessarily like you doing just general little stupid favors.
No, I get it, but then we have to judge a person's manhood by the random person's experience with them.
Hold on. Should a man not have some level of value? And if so, how do we judge that?
Yes, yeah, but you understand exactly. But again, if you're judging it, you guys are saying one thing, I'm saying something else. You guys are judging better man on based on a subjective value, based on his relationships or his usefulness to different people, which will vary. Right?
Yes, but I'm also trying to get your particular value judgment just for the sake of hearing it.
No, but I answered the question in the beginning. He said, he took it to, well, you got to be this in order to serve these people over here. And in order to serve these people was not part of what I said. Now, what you do in service to other people.
It's not what I said either.
But listen, it's defined by the relationship, and all relationships have definitions. You are a father in relationship to your children. You are a husband in relationship to your wife. You can be a better man than most men, but a poor husband. Those two ideas are mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
You guys are struggling with it.
No. It's not necessarily
I
struggle.
accept nuance. Hold on. I accept I accept that you input nuance to the argument. That's not a problem. But you seem to input a contradiction that nobody else has. There's no contradiction here. We're not. I don't think we're arguing here.
No,
not to mention.
Hold on, let me get this in because it was said and I didn't respond to it. What I'm saying, I'm not applying to everyone here. I'm only applying to the people that said it. So when somebody jumped in, I don't know, got my man's name. He said, "Well, you're putting this on everybody." No, I'm for anyone who said that, and I'm only addressing that part of it. I didn't come in here and say, "Oh, y'all niggas don't understand." No, I'm saying to the people who feel this way about being a better man or manhood and everything like that, what you guys don't understand is you're kind of doing the FD signifier thing without even knowing it.
Okay, I accept that, but I think that's where the nuance has to be applied, because I am not attempting to be a better man for the sake of someone else's benefit exclusively. And I think that's where the FD
Right.
signifier path would lead you. It's like you be a better man in service of women. And I'm like, nah, fuck these bitches. I want to be great.
I get it.
Wait. Because I'm gonna say Stanley right, because I don't even feel like arguing with him, because none of
That's
us
my
said that.
sentiments too, Hood.
None of us said that. But
You
here's the
gotta
thing.
say fucking Stanley, by the way, at least once.
But no, I ain't gonna say fucking Stanley. But look,
You just did. Thank you.
But wait, but the FD signifier, which is how we got to the better man thing, because I use that example. The FD signifier thing is he is better than you by saying you ain't shit. What everybody on this panel said is 10,000 hours of mastering your craft, or man being
Well,
being a person that grew with the shovel.
Signifier is saying he's better than you because he loves black women.
Yeah, whatever, man.
That's crazy work.
That's literally what he's on.
Because
Though.
he went to
It is
HBCU.
crazy. It is crazy, but that's what he's on though.
Look, I understand that piece, but what I'm saying is, like, you can't give you, like, if you're talking about self, you have to improve self first. Self is the baseline. Better is above that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Hood, please can you run back that can you run back the footage of the question of whether FD simps for black women or not? I think he answered that.
But does he simp for black women? I don't remember. Did FD simp for black women?
You don't remember?
What?
It's funny. I remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers.
But I want to address this simping allegation. Do I simp for black women? Yes. I love black women. I don't like y'all niggas. This is an easy decision to make. Sorry.
Niggas always gotta show their teeth.
I'm telling y'all, that's based on bots.
What's the one YouTuber he got into it with? The black female that he
that was like Kid Logic, I think.
Yeah, that was he was real testy with her. He was really testy with her, man.
We did a lot tonight. I'm not gonna get a chance. I'm not gonna pull that up because we're gonna get out of here in a minute. But SKC, and I knew about this a while ago. SKC mentioned this about him and Kid Logic. Kid Logic had a beef with the whole quote cornbread tube, which is like the black communist gone niggas. But
crazy.
I got to look into Kid Logic on my own time. And it's like a young black woman, by the way. So he's not opposed to beefing with black women.
Hey, real quick too, like, go ahead.
Can you hear?
Dirty folks. I thought you would have known by this.
Yeah, being a better man starts. So like,
go ahead.
Good, Hunter. Being a better man, you got it.
So when we talk about FD signifier, he has chosen his manhood to be subject to women, right? Now, guys on the panel might say, "Fuck these hoes. I'm not a man because I'm good to women. I'm a man because I'm good to blank," right? Right? But again, whoever's not blank will not see you as the better man because you're not being benevolent to them. Again, the subjectivity is where it falls apart. And what I'm saying is,
no, it doesn't. It's mind over matter. If I don't mind, you don't matter.
Hey, bro, I wasn't done. What I'm saying is your relationship to someone, right, has everything to do with subjectivity. So if you're better to your kids, like you say, Hood, you say, I'd rather be a good man to my kids. No, that makes you a better father. Okay, it makes you a better father because that is your relationship to them. You just have to make sure you define yourself by the correct words, because you can be a bad man, but you can be a good father. You can be worthless, like I think it was Dirty. It's Dirty Folks that said, something about confidence or this, that, and the other. You got dudes out here that they can't get their shit together, but they're great fathers. They're good to their children. They might be broke. They can't do this. They can't do that. They baby mama might think they ain't shit, but they kids love them because they're good fathers. It's all subjective, bro.
Yeah, but
I'm not gonna
typically,
argue. I'm not gonna argue with your infinite nuance. It's too much kung fu.
yeah, but typically you would point that out, and you wouldn't call that man a better man. You just say, "Hey, he's a good father." You would point out the nuance.
Like you ain't shit, but you a good father though. Like that's a very easy thing to say. Like, you know what I mean?
Right, and I've heard men say that to their kids
You ain't
in
shit to
real
who
time.
though?
But
You ain't
no,
shit
it
to
doesn't. It doesn't matter. Okay, I'll give you an example. Right? If
it does matter. Of course it matters.
Messi is probably the best soccer player in the world, but I don't watch soccer. But I know he's the best soccer player in the world, right? Or him and Ronaldo, right? But I don't even watch soccer, right? But for those who watch soccer, Ronaldo and Messi are the man. I would know him if I walked past him in the airport, right? That's the subjective part, but it doesn't take away from the fucking probably 1 million hours of craft that they put in to be the best at their craft.
Who's that dirty, right? Dirty.
It's important to what's important to.
Okay, but important is also subjective. So to the people who know that man personally outside of soccer, they might think he's full of shit because he done some fucked up shit to them. But to the soccer fans, he's great because he can kick a soccer ball. Again, subjectivity.
You know what? I think SKC he put a great cap on
That's
this
like
whole
R.
part of the
Kelly.
conversation. The subjectivity of self-defining, and this is where a religious order would come into play, because we are all attempting to define what pleases God to some degree, right? And without the actual order of religion to have a definitive answer for that, it all becomes the subjectivity of self-defining.
Well, like R. Kelly, I mean, isn't R. Kelly like the subjectivity of this? I mean, he
was the better man right until he got locked up.
Now, to be fair, if you're from Chicago, he was never the better man.
I know. This is what makes it crazy. I'm joking. I'm fucking joking.
I mean, from the outside looking in, I mean, he made a good kid song that be played at every graduation to this day. He basically
I believe I can fly. Goddamn, that shit was everywhere for a minute.
Come on, that was Michael Jordan theme song, bro. He did that for Fly, but
Space Jam. It was Space Jam.
It was Space Jam. The real Space Jam, not that corny ass shit with LeBron. Anyway, basically, if you take away the people will go ahead and say he's a monster, but everybody will still step to the name of fucking love. They will still try to make fucking babies off his fucking R&B hits, especially the Red album. Let's be real.
But
And
here's the problem.
And bitches, and guess what? The bitches will always say, like, yeah, he did all that nasty shit to them so-called little girls, but where's he at? I want to go visit him. I still listen to his music. I still love R. Kelly, but he fucked up. See, they can never separate the nigga from the art, even from himself.
Okay, but
why do women have rape fantasies? But anyway, take it home, dirty folks. I'm gonna close it down in a second. Take it home.
I want to use R. Kelly as an example, but I want to use it on the opposite, right? So outside the craft, right? And I tell my little cousins, I told them this when they was little, never judge a man by the words of a woman, because women don't know shit. So you being a good father but not a good husband, girls don't like that no way. They never happy. But here's the thing. R. Kelly wasn't good to men either. Like no men liked R. Kelly. Right?
Yeah.
So him being a quote unquote monster because somebody had consensual sex, I don't care about that. You're not good to your security. You're not good to the dudes you hoop with. You're just an asshole, like all the way around the board.
Yeah, but he makes good music, and that goes back to that.
Well, 100. Before you say anything, answer this question on the screen real quick, because I do want to get it out. I want to wrap this up, but this is it's an interesting question just for you. Do you think there is any way to have an objective answer on the better man topic?
I gave it. That's the first thing I gave.
Well, you did answer it without getting into. All right, fair enough. You did answer it directly without getting into the nuance. I will acknowledge that.
So no, the first. Let me just lay it out for him. The first answer I gave was the objective, and everybody responded with subjective.
So yeah, it went somewhere else after that. You're right.
Right. So what we're discussing right now is the subjectivity of better man. So like even I think that was Dirty Folks just talking, or was it SKC?
No, that was
Dirty Folk. It was Dirty Folk.
Right. So Dirty is talking about R. Kelly right now, and I forgot who brought up the soccer player. Was that SKC?
No, that was
Dirty also.
That was Dirty.
SKC's not here on the panel at all. It's Dirty Folks.
Technically, Mr. O brought up R. Kelly though. Technically, that was Mr. O.
Yeah. Okay.
But Dirty, what I'm saying to you is, You just use R. Kelly's example. He wasn't shit to his people. He wasn't shit to this one, that one, that one. But he was a great artist. Right? So that goes. So then he's the man, right? He's the better man to everybody to listen to his music. This is using your soccer player example, where you said, well, to the soccer fans,
No, I give you that.
Great.
I give you that.
Well, not necessarily. Not necessarily.
You kind of flipped your own script there.
No, I didn't flip my own script. I don't know Messi's friends. We know R. Kelly, but my point.
I think the argument. Hold on, because I do want to wrap this up, but I think you kind of did tie it together nicely, and I don't think you guys are disagreeing, Dirty Folks.
I don't care. I don't care about that.
I think the nuance did apply. So yeah, there is certain objective manhood measures, and I'm going to come back to the man part, but there are certain objective manhood measures, and I think as a panel of this 9, 10, 12 maybe guys that were on this panel tonight, we kind of did answer the question in somewhat of a unison without getting into weird racial politics. Like there are certain social qualities like of achievement and competence that fill the better man slot. And then there's nuances to it and all that. That being said, that was actually the great place to end, because I do want to wrap this up. We've been at this for about 4 hours, and I wanted to give a few minutes of a closing monologue, and now we're cutting into my closing monologue time. But I got to thank everybody for coming up. Shout out to 100. Appreciate you coming through, by the way. I don't talk to you all that often, but I appreciate your presence on the panel.
No doubt.
And shout out to Dirty Folks. We have the Midwest Request, Mr. O, Freeman's Journal, Andre, American Man, True Hype. We had a few other people. If I got your name, my apologies. We had a few people come through the panel tonight. We had a lot of people come through the show. I think we hit like 150 something listeners tonight. That's what you get for going at the big dogs. You know, your numbers boost up a little bit. But that's what we gotta do. We gotta yeah.
My bad. You forgot the smoke detector. That one guest we got on the panel.
Who was that?
I don't know who it was, man, but
as I said, I be forgetting sometimes, man. I be drinking, I be smoking, I don't remember everything. But I'm trying to think of everybody that came through. But I like this style of conversation, this style of content where we kind of, we can be funny and we can have arguments and shit, but there are arguments to attack at the same time. And I appreciate you guys taking this little mission with me. Shout out to everybody that came through, but we are closing this one down. We're going to put this one in the can for the night. This is a show for the books. I feel like we did great work here tonight, by the way, but that's just me. My voice may not count beyond my own channel, but I think I did great work. I think we all did great work, and that's what I'm thanking you all. That being said, we got to close this one down. Shout out to everybody in the audience, man. Like, share, and subscribe. Throw $1 in the hat on your way out. Please at least touch the collection plate like you're in a real church. Peace, y'all.
Aspiring to be patriarchs like what white men have, that isn't freedom. That isn't going to help anybody. It's certainly not going to help black people.
It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done.